Pete Rose blanked yesterday, strangely enough, but he is still 5 for 15 in this series, and he carries a .309 batting average for the year with 5 homers. Burris winds first pitch. Pete batting left. He takes a pass ball as high. Ball one of the game is underway. Burris winds. Here it comes. Swung on. Fastball fouled out of play. Left side, and the count is level at 1-1. When Ray was signed to the bullpen, he did not greet that transfer with any degree of warmth at all. Hasn't been at all happy about it. Wants to be in that starting rotation. The veteran winds. Here it is. He takes the breaking ball. Low. Ball 2, strike 1. Ray is soon going to celebrate a birthday. In fact, on Tuesday, he will be 28 years of age. Day after tomorrow. Here's the pitch. Way inside and low. Ball 3. Strike 1. Buckner is still doing some calisthenics. Trying to get limbered up as much as he can at first base. Frio at second. De Jesus deep in the hole at shortstop. Bradley Scott up just a little bit at third. Here's the windup. 3-1 delivery. Swung on. Ground ball to Scott. Gets away from him. Scrambles, picks it up. Will have no play. And the ball game begins with an error. The Cubs' 105th of the year. So Rose is on, and here's Joe Morgan. Kept the ball game alive with 2 out, man on, the 9th inning yesterday. With a strike 2 count on him, singled over Buckner's head into right field and scored on the next pitch on Griffey's game-tying homer in the 9th. Morgan hitting .250 with 8 homers, 64 runs batted in. Buckner, of course, will hold Rose on at first base. Here's a stretch and the pitch. Left-hander swings, pops it up. Trio calling for it on the right side of the infield. Manny grabs it just a few feet away from second, and there's one away. He had Morgan way out in front of that one. Here comes Griffey. First time that Suter faced him yesterday. Had no trouble with him at all. Next time was an entirely different story. It was his 5th homer of the year. He's batting .289 with 37 runs batted in. Right-hander on the stretch. Here's the pitch. Fastball, a little bit low. Ray relieved Wednesday against Atlanta. 1 inning, a hit, and a run. Yielded a homer to Dale Murphy, the 13th that's been hit off of him this year. Here's the pitch. Curveball, way low and inside. Ball 2, no strikes. He also relieved Monday against the Braves. Had no decision. He pitched the 8th and 9th innings of that ball game, which the Cubs came back to win from 7-0. Worked 2 innings. Didn't give up any runs that day. Here's the delivery. Breaking ball. Strike to Griffey. Outside corner to Letter. Ball 2, strike 1 on him. His last start was here 2 weeks ago against Montreal when he went 7 innings, gave up 2 runs. He did not get the win in that ball game. Well, he pitched well enough to get it. Fastball swung on, well hit drive. Deep left center field. On the run, Victor backs up at the warning track. He's there, and he's got it. Wheels a throw in quickly as Rose hustles back to first base. That ball hit hard, carried to the warning track, almost on a line with first and second. You got the wind picking up a little bit, but it is still coming in directly over the right field wall. Two gone. Still at first is Rose, and Foster digging in. Got his 28th home run of the year yesterday, and he has now batted in 19 runs for the season, hitting .286. Not having quite as good a season as he did last year, but still a doggone good one. Right-hander takes the first pitch, a strike, fastball. Rose, short lead at first. Here's a pitch. Fastball, strike 2 call. And Burris really bore down on that one, and he's getting some cheers from the crowd. You throw this guy fastballs, you better be good with him. 0-2 delivery. He is outside with that one, 1-2. Ray about 6'5". Recently, his wife Regina had to undergo gallbladder surgery. Made a good recovery. We're happy to report. 2 out and a 1-2 pitch. Foster swings and a ground ball to DeJesus at short. Over to Trio for the force out, and the side is retired. He changed speeds on him a bit. No runs, no hits in there. 1 man left on. The crowd loves it. After a half inning, the Cubs come to bat against the rookie, Mike Lacasse. No score.
Good morning. I'd like to try the breakfast with the hash browns, please.
Oh, McDonald's scrambled eggs and sausage and hash browns breakfast with an English muffin.
What's the name of it?
Oh, we didn't have a name.
You need Punchy here. You need name Punchy quick.
Oh, you mean like Egg McMuffins?
Greg Berthoshtum.
McEgg sauce hash browns.
McScram.
Ham straight.
No.
Naposaw.
Potosa Muffy.
McMuffin.
Oh, no.
McDonald's scrambled eggs and sausage and hash browns breakfast.
So you do want that?
I'll have that.
You got it.
Our scrambled eggs and sausage and hash browns breakfast.
Your lawn or garden can get water 2 ways. When it rains or when you water it. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you rain is undependable, so depend on your True Value hardware store for extra long True Test garden hoses. Like the True Test 60-foot vinyl garden hose or the True Test 60-foot double reinforced rubber vinyl garden hose, both with a 5/8-inch inside diameter. See the complete selection of hoses priced from as low as $3.19 at participating True Value hardware stores.
Before Rodney Scott steps in, let's take a moment for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
This is WGN Radio Chicago, officially 76 degrees at Midway Airport, 29 minutes before 2.
Mike Lacasse, only 22 years of age. While we haven't seen him, they tell us that he's got a real good fastball. There's a slider and a curve, and he's got a world of confidence in himself. You're 22. You've done very well in your brief professional career. You should have a lot of confidence. He is 6'4". They list him at 186. Native of the state of California. Their number 3 draft choice back in June 4 years ago. Michael James Lacasse. Scott 0 for 3, steps in. Rodney swings at a fastball, drives it down the left field line. It goes foul, out of play, barely. But the guys moving over in the bullpen, and a couple of them, Brad Foster, want to keep him there, get him out of that ballpark. Dave Roberts, I think it was, put an arm lock on him. As Foster crossed the foul line. Strike 1 count on Rodney, hitting .278, 5 runs batted in. There's a curve, and it's high off the mid of Johnny Bench, comes back to the backstop. 1-1. The crowd taunting the kid a little bit. Bench, the veteran, giving the sign. Wind up the pitch. Fastball. In too close. Ball 2, strike 1. He struck out 10 men in 42 2/3 innings. Walked 25, 7 of them intentionally. 2-1 delivery, swung on. Bouncing ball. Backhanded by Dreesen at first. Comes back to the bag, and Rodney is out of there, 1 away. That brings up Greg Gross, batting .260. 2 for 5 in the series with a homer. 33 runs batted in for the year for Greg. Does not strike out very much. One way you try to judge pitchers, looking at their strikeouts and their walks. Usually you should have a little edge in strikeouts, or perhaps about even. This kid's figures are the other way. Throws a breaking ball outside. Looks like a slider. Ball 1. 10 strikeouts and 18 unintentional walks. So he can be wild. 1-0 pitch. Fastball. Letter high strike, 1-1. No score. Bottom of the first inning. Nice to get by that first without the Reds getting on the board. He delivers, and it's outside. 2-1. Seems like every ball game, Lou, except one Rick pitch. They jumped out in front.
Yeah. It'd be nice if we get out in front by 3 or 4.
Or 7 or 8. We thought that third run we got yesterday was going to be the real big one. Well, that's over and gone. 3-1 pitch now. Greg swings on a fastball. Fouls it just over to our left. Ball, 3, strike 2. Those Pirates are about the hottest club in the majors right now, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're scoring runs.
Cardinals got another one today. They're leading in the first game. There's a swing by Greg, base hit. Last beat Rose. Foster comes in, scoops it up. And Gross has the first hit of the day by anybody. Lined it sharply, just to the shortstop side of Pete Rose. Brings up Buckner, who drilled his first Wrigley Field homer of the year yesterday with 2 men aboard. That gave the Cubs a 3-2 lead. And the Reds tied it in the top of the next inning, but the Cubs gained right back to regain the lead and held it until the 9th. Buck hitting .306, 5 for 14 in the series. 47 runs batted in for the year. He has the same number of RBIs as does Bobby Mercer now. Rookie's first pitch, and he just missed outside with a fastball. Kingman out of the lineup with an injury, bringing luggage into the ballpark. Lacasse delivers. That ball, the outside corner at the knees for a strike. Perfect position for that one. Ball 1, strike 1. Rookie Rojas talking to Greg Gross, the runner at first. Greason holding him on. Joe Malpatano coaching at third. Pete Rose is just about even with the bag at third. Morgan is shaded up the middle for Buckner. 1 out, and a quick throw to first. And Gross has to make a dive back in. They think might have to hit and run on. Tomorrow night, we'll be talking to you from the Houston Astrodome. Next weekend, over at Cincinnati. Crowd hooking it up. 1-1 delivery. Here it is. Buck swings, pulls a sharp ground ball to Greason, steps to the back, throws to second. Bag put on by Concepcion on a throw that bounced into him. And a double play to retire the side as Buckner ripped a hard shot to Greason, who was able to take it right on the bag at first base. And the Reds come up with their 84th double play of the year. No runs, a hit, nobody left on. At the end of 1, it's 0-0.
The Dallas and the Hole, we make car buying a pleasure again.
It's unfortunate, but true, that most people find buying a car an unpleasant experience. They feel pressured, spoken down to, and generally unfulfilled. Your Chicagoland Oldsmobile dealers don't claim to be perfect, but every day we're trying harder to make buying an Oldsmobile as pleasurable as owning one. It's an attitude of warmth, a confidence in our product. It's a team of professionals who know that courtesy and respect for the customer is the best way to sell a car. Come into an Oldsmobile showroom and find out how we can make car buying a pleasure for you.
The Dallas and the Hole, we make car buying a pleasure again. The Dallas and the Hole, we make car buying a pleasure again. The Dallas and the Hole.
Dan Greason, who started that double play, leads off, left-hander, 3 for 10 in the series, batting .277. Dan with 15 homers and 63 runs batted in. Tough hitter. Burris winds. Here's the delivery. Greason takes. It's a little bit low. Ball 1. White Sox today going after their 5th straight win over at Cleveland. There's the ball. Ball 2. Ray steps back. Here's the windup. 2-0 pitch swung on. Pulls the ground ball. 3 to his left. He's got it from the edge of the grass. Whips the throw to Buckner. 1 away. Manny reacting quickly, going to his first base side on that ground ball off the bat of Greason on a 2-0 delivery. Brings up Johnny Bench. 3 for 12, including his 18th home run of the series, of the year. Driven in 47 runs this year. The same as Buckner and Mercer of the Cubs. And he's hitting .260 for the season. Outfield, around to the left, deep for him. The gap is between Gross over in left center and Mercer. Bench takes the first pitch, a ball. And above the knees, too close. Burris Wines, 1-0 delivery. And there's another ball. Well, they got the 2-0 on Dreesen. 2-0 now on bench. And Creel moves farther over towards second base on the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, lines it down the left field line, goes foul, skips off the mound of the bullpen. And Kevin, he was out in front of it. Mark Malnati stepping up today. Goodie's over, the son of the late pizza king, Lou Malnati. 2-1 pitch. Swung and missed. Good fastball to bench. 2-2. No score. Top of the second with one out. Bases are empty. Ray gets a sign. Here's the windup. The right-hander's next pitch. Swung on, foul, back up under the net. It is 2-2. California last night kept the pace of Kansas City with a 4-3 victory over Baltimore. There's still a half game separating them in that Western Division. Two-two pitch. Breaking pitch for strike 3. Call. Looked like a slider, and Bench is beefing about it to Jimmy Quick. He held up on his swing with the ball down and away. 2 gone. Ray's first strikeout of the day brings up Dave Concepcion, having a good season, batting .306 with 6 homers. 54 runs batted in. Burris Wines, Concepcion takes the strike. Burris, of course, knows that he's got an opportunity to pitch his way back into that starting rotation for the stretch. He wants to take every possible advantage. There's a swing, and Concepcion, as he has been doing lately, goes to right field, and he's got himself a single. Handled the pitch well. It was up and in on him. His 5th hit in the series. And the Reds' first hit of the afternoon. Rose had reached on Rodney Scott's error at third to open up the ballgame. Now, Mr. Mike Lum has probably hit about 900 in his career against us, Lou. Golly.
Yes, he's had a great series thus far. I think 4 out of 5 yesterday.
Yeah. Seems like ever since he first came in the majors with Atlanta. Handsome Hawaiian-born left-handed hitter and has plagued the Cub pitching. Batting .302. Takes the first one high. There's 5 homers and 20 runs batted in, 2 in this series. One in there with Geronimo out with a shoulder injury. He has 32 hits for the year, 6 of them doubles, 5 homers, no triples. Good hitter. 8th man in the batting order, 1-0 pitch. Swung on and a high fly ball coming in is Craig Gross. He is there and he makes the catch in right center field. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. At the end of 1.5 at Wrigley Field, just a gorgeous day. The Cubs will have Bobby Mercer leading off against rookie Mike Lacasse. No score.
My car engine knocks so bad it sounds like a riveting gun.
Every time I accelerated, the pinging infuriated me.
Even 2 knots didn't help.
I'm a standard dealer, and they're talking about the knocking or pinging sound that car's engine sometimes makes when accelerating or pulling a heavy load. Some car owners actually want to retard the spark to keep the engine from knocking. What that does is waste gasoline. We'll get the car back in tune, and Amoco Premium Lead-Free is made to stop engine knock. If your car's in tune but still knocks or keeps running after you turn off the key, it doesn't need engine work. It needs higher octane fuel, like Amoco Premium Lead-Free and the Gold Pump. If it doesn't have performance problems, use the Midwest best-selling lead-free Amoco and the Blue Pump. Hey, that Amoco Premium Lead-Free works like a charm.
No more knock.
1 full tank made all the difference.
See your independent standard dealer for the lead-free choice. You expect more from a leader.
Mercer, 3 for 11 in the series. Stepped in with a .277 batting average for the year. 7 homers, 47 runs batted in. Got a big group of ball players here today from the Franklin Park Boys Baseball Bronco League team. Fellas, that's the finest group of boys ever assembled in one Bronco League. They're ages 11 to 12. all their parents and friends who couldn't make it to the ballpark today. Happy to know that them kids are out here enjoying it. Beautiful weather. Mercer takes Lacasse is high with a fastball for ball one. And this guy's got a very limber arm. Here's the windup, the pitch. Another fastball just missed in at the belt. Ball two. He's got the build to be a dandy. Lean, tall. Delivers 2-0 pitch. Bobby takes it. It's a strike. Took a little off of it that time. Ball two, strike one. Drill singles with one out in the first inning. Buckner ripped a hard shot right to Dreesen at first base. He started a double play by stepping on the bag, then throwing to Concepcion to put the tag on Greg. Here's a fastball for a strike away. Ball two, strike two. Fastball will rise. You got a ball club that's battling for a division championship. Saw one rookie start yesterday and another one today. There's a swing, and Mercer fouls that one way down the left field line. Usually, Lou, you associate ball clubs that are battling for championships with veteran pitchers.
True. Well, we can come right back at them with a Kruko and a Lamb. So Cubs are keeping pace. Hopefully we can get into the spots where Cincinnati has been in the last few years. Winners of their division.
2-2 pitch is a ball that sails too high. 3-2. Straight away, Lum in center. Deep and right is Griffey. Morgan on the edge of the grass at second. Concepcion shading him up the bit. 3-2 pitch. Swung on. Line drive. Over the head of the pitcher into center field. Mercer opens up the second with a hard hit double right up the middle, or single right up the middle.
Maybe that little extra batting practice has helped Bobby. He was out here at 10:15 this morning, taking a little extra hitting. That's what the advantage is, being at home. Get out early in the morning, get some extra hitting.
He was quick with the bat on that one, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Even he hasn't been quick with a bat recently.
Yeah. Been a little lazy, they say. Not that he is lazy, but when you don't get that bat moving.
That's been happening to me lately. Not getting the bat moving, just being lazy.
There's Larry Bittner, pressed into service when Dave Kingman checked in today.
Reminds me of being lazy. How about that guy that usually is out in the morning every once in a while?
Another vacation for him.
Gets all-stars to fill in for him.
Yeah, and boy, they got some dandies. Bill and Mary Frances Beck will be on Thursday.
Yeah.
Ernie Banks, Ron Santo be on Friday.
Maybe they can keep Wally Hoo-Hoo away.
It wouldn't be bad.
Thunder.
Lee Phillip is going to be on, too.
Oh, good.
Boy.
What day is that?
Yeah, you would have to ask me.
Well, I'd like to get over there to see Lee.
I think we're going to be in Houston. Lee is going to be on, I think, it's Tuesday morning. Just swinging a half foul. And one of our favorite comedians of all time, Don Adams.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be on one morning. And Debbie Reynolds.
You're kidding.
No.
You're kidding.
I'd really like to see Debbie.
Oh, I'll have to fly in from Houston to see her. She's one of my favorites.
This last time we saw her was out at Las Vegas. She did a great show.
I wonder if Mickey Rooney's coming in.
Don't know that Mickey's going to be able to handle it. I think he's busy with some gal out on the West Coast. He's going to get married or something. Or did he?
Well, he's busy.
And there's Bittner swinging and missing. And Larry is just fanned. What Kingman did, we're told, is injure himself bringing some luggage into the ballpark today. An injury between the breastbone and the rib cage. Lee Phillips and Debbie Reynolds will be in tomorrow morning. Well, that's good. Yeah, Barbara Eden is supposed to be here. Unfortunately, she's going to bring her husband with her. Manny Trio flashes the first pitch, tries to go to right field and misses by about 90 feet. He slams it right over the visiting dugout behind first base. Hope nobody got hurt. Trio 4 for 11 with a run batted in the series. Is batting .264, driven in 39 runs. Just 3 homers. De Jesus in the on-deck circle. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here with you. Jack Minovich, our producer. Jimmy Walters, our engineer. No score yet. Second inning with one away. Here's the pitch. High and tight with a fastball. Well, I tell you, this kid Looks like he's all arms and legs out there. If he ever starts side-arming right-handers, it'll be brutal. Reminds you a little bit of another great Cincinnati right-hander, late Blackwell. There's one that's too high. Like to throw a breaking pitch. Ball 2, strike 1. But so far, he hasn't come sidearm. He's not quite as tall as Blackwell is either.
He's built somewhat like him.
Yeah, he reminds me of him in his build.
Let me tell you, if he would come sidearm,
wouldn't that be tough?
he would be wicked.
Here's the kick, the pitch. Swing on. Ground ball, base hit. Creel slams a shot between Rose and Concepcion. Mercer has to stop at second. The Creel had tried to go to right field earlier, but this time he just pulled it sharply. That's hit number 3 off Lacoste. He has beaten Montreal, Atlanta, San Diego. And then he lost to San Diego. And he also lost to the Mets. De Jesus hitting .270. 3 homers, 26 runs batted in for the Cub fine shortstop. He's 4 for 12 against the Reds in this series. Lacoste into the stretch. Swing and a high fly ball. Foster coming in over near the foul line. Has the glasses down. He is under it, and he makes the catch. 2 gone. That Quinn coming in over the right field wall, helping to push that ball over near the left field foul line. Now it's up to Tim Blackwell. And his extra work, Lou, at batting practice has been paying off for him, hasn't it?
Yes, indeed. He's driven in a couple of runs, important runs, and I think with his more confidence that he has each day, makes him a threat at the plate.
He was hitting about 180, 185. He's now up to 234, 11 for 47 since they brought him up. He started out in the Philly organization. Lacoste faked a pick off to second. Nobody there to take it. Second base umpire, Doug Harvey, on the edge of the infield grass, right behind him. Blackwell batting lefty. Runners at first and second. Here's a pitch. Swung on. Ground ball, but it goes to Concepcion. He's got it. Throws to second base. Force out on Creel. Retires aside. And the kid gets out of a jam. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. So at the end of 2 at Wrigley Field. No score. Well, Mike Lacoste, who got out of a jam there, is going to come to bat here at Wrigley Field for the first time. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau, a capacity house once more. I got a hunch, Lou, this may be the biggest crowd of the series, huh?
I believe it. They're standing 3 or 4 deep in the ramp.
Yeah. All right, hold them in, and let's go get a few runs.
Ray Burris on the mound will face Lacoste, and then the top of the order. Nice wire here from Joanne Nelson and family. Wishing the Cubs success this last game in this series against the Cincinnati Reds. Lacoste bats right-handed. No score, top of the 3rd inning. First pitch by Burris is a fastball outside, ball 1. Cleveland leads the White Sox 2-1 at the end of 1. That's Stone against the weight. Detroit at Milwaukee, that game just getting underway. Swing and a foul, back to the screen, 1-1 to count. Pittsburgh 6, Houston 2 at the end of 4. St. Louis 1, Atlanta nothing at the end of 1.5. 1-1 pitch on its way. Swing and a fly ball, short center field. Gross is there. He's under it. He has it for the out. 1 out, top of the order. Pete Rose at bat. Pete now is 0 for the last 7 times at bat. Cubs will be in Houston Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, and then visit Cincinnati for games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. First pitch to Rose. Curveball swing, a ground ball. Buckner dives. He has it. Throws to Burris. He's out at first base. Buckner robs Pete Rose of a base hit on a tremendous play as that ball looked like it was going to go in between Creel and Buckner. Buckner coming out of nowhere. Dove for the ball and from his knees fires to Burris covering first. 2 out. Now here's Morgan at bat. Cubs play Morgan straight away. Strike called on the first pitch. To Joe Burris firing that fastball over the outside corner. No score, third inning. The strike one pitch on its way. Swing and a foul back to the screen. 2 strikes now on Joe. In the bottom of this inning, the Cubs will also send their pitcher to lead off the inning, as the Reds did here in the top of the third. So that's how even this game is. The 0-2 pitch from Burris. Curveball far outside and high. 1-2 the count. Morgan with that familiar flip of the left elbow is ready. Here's the pitch. Curveball missing, and it's ball 2. Strike 2. Two and 2 the count. 2 outs. Nobody on base. The pitch from Burris, and Morgan takes high, ball 3. So after getting the count of 0-2, the count now moves to 3-2. Cubs, no runs, 3 hits. Cincinnati, no runs, 1 hit. Burris gets his sign for Blackwell, and here's the 3-2 pitch. Instead, Burris steps back off the pitching rubber. He wants another sign. Now Morgan readjusts in the batter's box, and here's the 3-2 pitch. Curveball popped up. Foul territory. Scott near the Cubs dugout. He has room. Gloves it one-handed for the out. Third inning, no runs, no hits, nobody left on base for Cincinnati. Cubs come to bat. Bottom of the third inning, no score. Before Burris leads off the third inning for the Cubs, let's pause for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
This is WGN Radio Chicago, 76 degrees at 2 o'clock.
Ray Burris stepping in the batter's box. He's only hitting 154. 6 hits and 39 times at bat. Lacoste is ready. Gets his sign from bench. Time is called now as Concepcion is having trouble with his sunglasses. Now he adjusts them. Says he's okay. First pitch on the way. Burris attempts the bunt, but it was high, so he bunts it foul. Couldn't pull back the bat on that attempted bunt. Strike 1. Standing room only here at Wrigley Field. This will break all records for a 4-game series for attendance. Wind up and pitch by Lacoste is a swing and a tap foul right at the plate. Strike 2. Now Lacoste is ready again. The pitch. High. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ray. Detroit nothing, Milwaukee nothing at the end of 1. Young against Caldwell. The pitch. Burris swings, hits a ground ball to first baseman. Dreesen has it, runs up, touches first. 1 out. 1 away in the top of the order now, Rodney Scott, who grounded to Dreesen in the first inning, steps in the batter's box. Lacoste, the right-hander, looks over at Rose, who moves in on the infield grass. Scott, of course, very fast. So Rose has to protect that position against the bunt. First pitch on its way. There's a curveball for a strike called on Rodney. Lum, the center fielder, is over in the left center. Foster guarding the line in left field. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Strike 2. 0-2 the count to Scott. 1 out, nobody on base. Lacoste, the young rookie, is ready to pitch. Swing and a tap in front of the plate. Lacoste has it, has to run and touch first himself because Dreesen was moving to his right to grab that ball if it had gotten past Lacoste. But Lacoste made the play. 2 outs, and here's Gross at bat. Gross singled to left, first time at bat. Two out. First pitch by the young right-hander. Fastball for a strike call. Lum still playing in left center. That's an indication of how quick this youngster is, figuring that the hitters will swing late on his fastball. Next pitch is high, taken by Gross. It's 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a one-hopper to Concepcion. Off of its glove into short center field. Gross is going to remain at first. Concepcion had to move to his left, but on several occasions on natural turf, he has not made the right move with that glove. And this one bounces off of the heel of the glove and goes into center field for an error. It's quite different engaging the bounces on AstroTurf and natural turf. Now here's Buckner at bat. Throw to first. Gross has to dive back safely. Each team now has made one error. Buckner grounded into a fast double play. Dreesen, who touched first to eliminate Buckner, and then threw to Concepcion, who tagged Gross. But now, with 2 outs, we'll see what Buckner will do against Lacoste. Takes the pitch inside, it gets away from Bench, goes back to the screen. That could be a pass ball on Bench. Gross is on second. And that is a pass ball on Bench. Now Buckner with an opportunity to put the Cubs out in front. Gross is on second base with 2 outs. So as soon as that bat makes contact with that baseball, Gross will be off. Here's a swing, and it's a fly ball to left center. Lum is there coming in. He's under it. He grabs it for the out. Buckner flies out to Lum in left center to close out the third inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left on base. At the end of 3, Cubs nothing, Cincinnati nothing.
Every once in a while, one of your old friends may be passing through town, and you may want to invite him out to the house for a beer. Of course, that means an Old Style. It's one beer that, for taste, consistently bats 1,000. You see, only the choicest hops and the finest grains are selected for Old Style. Then there's the water. Sparkling, pure Wisconsin spring water. Virgin water that flows cool and clear from deep beneath the ground. But the real measure of a beer is the way it's brewed. And Old Style is one American premium beer that's pure brewed, double brewed, the way great European beers have been brewed for centuries. It's the traditional Old World process known as krausening. It's nature's own way of brewing with no shortcuts. And it's the only way Heilmann's Old Style has been brewed since Gottlieb Heilmann founded the brewery way back in 1853. Next time some friends stop over, serve them an Old Style and let them taste the difference krausening makes.
We're moving to the fourth inning of play with no score. Cincinnati will send Griffey, Foster, and Dreesen, the meat of their batting order, against Burris. Cubs with no runs, 3 hits. And the Cincinnati Reds with no runs, 1 hit. Now here's Griffey at bat, who flied deep to Bittner, who is in left field, in left center on the warning track in the first inning. Griffey showing some muscle and power here against the Cubs. First pitch, swing and a foul right in front of the Cincinnati Reds dugout. Strike 1. Houston came back with 2 runs in the 5th inning. It's now Pittsburgh 6, Houston 4 at the end of 5. San Diego 2, Montreal nothing at the end of 2. St. Louis 2, Atlanta nothing at the end of 3. San Francisco will be at Philadelphia tonight. Burris into the windup, strike 1 pitch. It's inside as Griffey faked a bunt and had to jump back away from it. Almost hit him. 1-1 the count. In the American League, it's Cleveland 3, White Sox 1 at the end of 3. Detroit and Milwaukee, no score at the end of 1. Swing and a miss on a let-up. Strike 2. Texas nothing, Kansas City nothing at the end of 2. Minnesota 1, Toronto nothing at the end of 1.5. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. On the leadoff hitter for the Reds in the 4th inning, Griffey, their right fielder. The pitch on its way. It's low outside. 2-2 the count. That one was close. Burris gets his sign from young Blackwell. Now he's into the windup, the kick, the pitch. Fastball inside. It goes to a full count. 3-2. The pitch on its way. Griffey swings, lines that ball foul. Down the left field line. Griffey with only 5 home runs thus far this year. But he'll never hit one more important than he did yesterday in the 9th inning with a man on to tie up the ball game. And the Reds went on in the 10th to win, defeating the Cubs 9-7. Here's the 3-2 pitch by Burris. Swinging a ground ball. It is foul. It just missed the base. At first, as Crawford immediately turns to foul territory and points. Griffey thought he had an extra base hit. Burris has allowed only 1 hit, that to Concepcion in the 2nd inning. Now Ray gets a sign from Blackwell. Shakes his head yes. Here's the ball 3, strike 2 pitch. Griffey takes outside, ball 4. Burris loses it. First walk issued by Burris. And here is the dangerous Foster at bat. He forced Pete Rose, who was safe out of the air in the 1st inning, at second base. Foster steps in the batter's box. Talking to a couple of the scouts, Russo, Harry Kraft, here in this series. Here's the first pitch. Outside, ball 1. They seem to all agree that Foster and Rice of the Boston Red Sox, 2 of the strongest men in baseball. Power. The stretch. The pitch. Swing and a long fly ball down the left field line, but it's curving foul, and it is foul. As we had to blow a little bit behind that ball to get it in foul territory. It's a long strike, right into the corner, left of the flagpole. And that being foul territory. So the count now 1-1. he really didn't get the good part of the bat on that ball. That's what I mean by being strong. That ball was hit maybe only 6 or 8 inches up on the handle. Throw to first. Griffey is back safely. No score, 4th inning. Stretch by Burris. Looks at Griffey, throws to first. Quick tag by Buckner, but too late. Griffey has 18 stolen bases. Time is called and a balk has been called. Doug Harvey called a balk on Burris as he moved his knee before striding to first base. Burris talking to Harvey. He wants to know what he did wrong. And Harvey calls him off the mound. And Harvey's going to show him or tell him what he did wrong in throwing to first base. The only thing we can do is speculate, and I would say that Burris had 2 motions. He did not stride towards first. He sort of shrugged his shoulders somewhat and then took his stride to first, and that action by a pitcher has to be all in one movement. But that's being pretty technical.
I did not pick it up. I don't know what he did.
I didn't think he balked, but we're a little farther away than Harvey. But nevertheless, it is a balk, and now Griffey's on second. Nobody out, and here's the 1-1 pitch to Foster. Swing and a foul into the glove of Blackwell. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is one fellow that I don't believe will try to go to right field in this situation. Why should you lose his... I don't know. Why should you lose his swing of a long ball? Here's the pitch. Curveball. He swings and misses, striking out. And he was trying to pull the ball, as he did on the pitch prior to that, and fouled the ball into the glove of Blackwell. So, Foster strikes out. Second strikeout for Burris. But you jump right from the frying pan into the fire. Here's Dreesen, another tough hitter at the plate. He grounded out to Trio at second in the second inning. The Jesus holding the runner close to second. First pitch, fastball, a little high. Ball 1. San Francisco will send Barr against Christensen tonight at Philadelphia. The stretch by Burris, the pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. As Burris let up on that ball, and that's been his pay pitch recently, the let up. But a lot of times, a pitcher forgets that he has that let up and depends upon his catcher to pick the right spot. Here's the 1-1 pitch now to Dreesen. Swing and a fly ball to left field. Bittner is there. He's under it, moves to the foul line. He gloves it. 2 out. But here's Johnny Bench. You think the middle of that lineup isn't tough on any pitcher? Every pitch is so important. Morgan, Griffey, Foster, Dreesen, now Bench. And you lead off with a guy like Rose hitting .305 right now. 2 outs. Griffey at second base due to the walk and balk. Now here's Johnny Bench, who was called out on strikes his first time against Burris. First pitch, curveball, misses the outside corner. Ball 1. A very fine pitch by Burris, but Bench wouldn't chase it. Cubs play Bench to pull. Gross in left center. The 1-ball pitch, another curveball, tap foul into the Cubs dugout. Right next to it, it bounces against the wall and out to Scott, the third baseman. 1 ball, 1 strike. No score. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Reds are threatening the same as the Cubs did in the 3rd inning with a man on second. Popped up behind the plate, but the wind carries it out of play onto the screen. So the count remains 1-2 on Johnny Bench, number 5. Griffey on second base with 2 outs. The Jesus, the shortstop, deep into the hole at second, which means that Trio will try to hold Griffey close to second base. Here's the pitch by Burris to Bench. Swinging a ground ball to Scott. He gloves it one-handed. Fires to first. A fine play by Scott, who charged the ball, which an infielder should do, even though it's on a short hop. That hop will be true, and Scott gloved it and fired to first for the out. In the fourth inning, no runs, no hits, one walk, one balk, one man left on base. Cubs come to bat. Fourth inning, no score.
You're the one to keep coming back. There's something about the big night that keeps you coming back. Keeps you coming back to that big night. Kisses and sweet, all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce and cheese. All the pickles and onions on a bun, courtesy by Stephanie C. You're the one to keep coming back. There's something about a big night that keeps you coming back. Keeps you coming back to that big night. No matter where you're going, you keep on coming back to McDonald's store again for one more Big Mac at McDonald's. We do it all for you. Coming back to a Big Mac. We do it all for you. Coming back to a Big Mac.
Fourth inning, the Cubs will send Bobby Mercer, Larry Bittner, and then Manny Trio against the young right-hander Lacoste. Mercer single to center field. First time at bat. Standing room crowd only, with some 700 or 750 Cincinnati Reds boosters here sitting down the right field line. Jim Quick, plate umpire, takes a look at the baseball and tosses it out of play. Atlanta has tied up St. Louis, scoring 2 in the fourth. 2-2, St. Louis batting. Texas have taken a 1-0 lead over Kansas City at the end of 2.5. We're all set to go here, top of the fourth inning, and here's the first pitch to Mercer. Curveball. It just didn't break and stayed outside. Ball 1. Lacoste works quickly. The pitch. High, ball 2. Ball 2, no strikes to Bobby Mercer, leading off the fourth inning for the Cubs. Reds play Mercer straight away. Here's the pitch. It's high, ball 3. Bench trying to keep on his knees to keep the kid from pitching high, making him keep the ball low. There's the ball high, and it's ball 4. Mercer walks on 4 pitches. First walk issued by Lacoste. Now here's Bittner, struck out in the second inning. Bittner makes contact usually and will go to the opposite field. When he goes to the opposite field, that is the left field, he's a much better hitter. Lacoste is ready. The stretch, checks the runner. Here goes Mercer on the hit and run. Bench's throw is high. The tag is late. Mercer steals second base. On the hit and run, and I was thinking along with Herman Frank that, as I mentioned, Bittner makes contact. That's how wrong we can be. He missed the ball, but Mercer's speed enabled him to steal second base when Bench's throw was high to Concepcion. Cubs have a runner on second base now. Nobody out. The pitch to Bittner. Swings, pulls the ball at Reason, as he should do. Mercer advances to third. Bittner doing a fine job. That is part of the game that is very important over a 162-game schedule. Foster did not do it. Bittner does it. So it's now puts the responsibility up to Trio to hit the ball someplace, preferably to the outfield to score Mercer, because Cincinnati will be playing their infield in. Lacoste into the stretch. First pitch to Trio, high, ball one, and he had a little extra on that one. No score, but the Cubs are threatening. We're in the fourth inning. Mercer on third, one out. It would be nice to get out in front for a change. Swinging a ground ball to Concepcion. Mercer has to stay at third. There's the throw to first. The ball was a one-hopper, right to Concepcion. So you have to give Anderson credit for moving the infield in, and you have to give the young kid Lacoste more credit for making Trio keep the ball on the ground. So it's going to be up to DeJesus. Two out. DeJesus slide out to Foster. First time at bat. First pitch. High. Now Mercer will make a break off a third to try to excite this youngster, and he may balk. He's taking his windup. There's Mercer making a fake break, but he didn't do it at the proper time. The kid was looking at him and didn't start his windup. The timing has to be perfect. Ball two and no strikes to DeJesus. Now Mercer takes an added lead of about 3 or 4 feet. Let's see if he times this one. Lacoste leans in. Here's the windup and the pitch. Strike call. 2-1 to count. Cincinnati plays DeJesus straight away. The ball two, strike one pitch. Curveball tap foul off the leg of DeJesus. It goes back to Blackwell in the on-deck circle. 2-2 to count. No score. We're in the fourth inning. DeJesus batting with Mercer on third. The only runner thus far to reach third in this ball game, even though it is early. That's how good Lacoste has been, and also Burris. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball to the first baseman. He has it. Catches first base. He almost forgot how many outs there were. Looked like he was going to make a play at the plate. But then Dreesen took hold of himself and runs up and catches first for the third out. No runs, no hits. One walk, one man left on base. At the end of 4, no score.
The gallows and the hose, we make our buying a pleasure again.
Honey, I'm home.
Flowers? For me? What's the occasion?
Sorry you got stuck taking the Cutlass in for the 6,000-mile check.
Oh, no problem.
I know how rough service departments can be.
Not at our Chicagoland Oldsmobile dealer.
Rude and discourteous.
Those guys were great. The gallant men.
Probably kept you waiting for hours.
I just dropped off the Olds and went shopping. It was a snap.
They never listen to what you say.
And when I got back from the dress sale,
And they tack on extra
our
charges.
Cutlass was ready to roll. No extra charges.
Really?
By the way, how do you like my new dress? $100 marked down from $250.
New dress?
The gallows and the hose, we make our buying a pleasure again. The gallows and the hose, we make our buying a pleasure again. The gallows and the hose.
Davy Concepcion is going to be leading off. Vince Lloyd here with you at Wrigley Field. And those of you who were with us at the beginning of the broadcast heard the national anthem sung by handsome young Chicagoan, John Adair, who's up here in the booth with me right now. John, congratulations. Did a beautiful job.
Oh, thank you, Vince. It was a real pleasure for me to be here this afternoon to do this after growing up in the Northwest area of Chicago and coming here as a youngster to see the game, growing up with Ernie Banks. To be out here today is just so exciting with everyone.
You were telling me the other night that you used to come out here and help clean up the ballpark after a game so you could get a pass for the next day.
That's right. All of us youngsters used to go over to the side of the ends of the seat
Yeah.
and take a box and walk around the seats and pick up the paper, and afterwards we got a free pass. Great way to see the ball game.
Yeah. And you have your wife and children out here with you.
Yes, Gail and Ricky and Brian are here, and the boys are super excited.
First pitch to Concepcion of the breaking ball law. John, you and I have something in common that's very dear to your heart and mine too, and to a lot of our listeners. Here's the pitch. Sexy swing, it's a strike, and that's the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, founded by the great Danny Thomas.
That's right. About 3 years ago, a former Chicagoan, Father Pat McFallen, who many know as the former police chaplain in the Chicago Department,
Wonderful man.
got me involved. And
there's a swing. He goes to right field with a fly ball. Mercer should be able to get it. He is there, and he makes the catch in fair territory, well down the line at the Battle of the Sun and the Wind. We had Father Pat out of the ball game with us a couple of weeks ago, and we're out in Los Angeles.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, he's still a great Cubs fan.
Oh, he's super. And
Yeah.
he got me involved with the hospital about 3 years ago, and as volunteer chairman here in Chicago, we do everything we can to help out the people down in Memphis. So in turn, help people out all over the world. So it's a great endeavor.
Mike Lum, the hitter, left-hander, and he swings. High bouncer. Buckner backs up. He's got it. Burris off the mound. Takes the throw. Steps on the bag in time for the out. That was a tough one. Let's take a moment here for station identification. This is WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
And this is WGN Radio Chicago.
John, I know that later on you're going to be back here in the Chicago area. You'll be at the Lake Geneva Playboy Club.
Yeah, Vince. This fall I'll be at the club in Lake Geneva, Playboy organization, and then also at the Condesa Del Mar out in Elsa. And looking forward to it.
Great spot.
Oh yeah.
The rookie pitcher, Mike Lacoste, popped up to Grossen center in there with the bases empty. No score. First pitch to him is a strike. Burris is just pitching a superb ball game. Fires another one in there. John, where is your next date?
Next month I'll be appearing at the Aladdin Hotel with Danny Thomas in Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
And we'll be out there trying to raise as much money as we can for the hospital. And I'm really looking forward to that.
There's a strike called on the inside corner, retiring the side in order. And Burris is just a superb performer here this afternoon through the first 5 innings. He has allowed a single. That's all. And the Cubs come to bat, bottom of the 5th. John, stick around. Bring us a little luck here. When the Cubs come up, it'll be Blackwell, then Burris, then the top of the order. It is still 0-0. A lot of men, even a Carroll's man, need a pretty good reason to think about shopping for fall clothes when it's in the 80s and they're playing baseball. The folks at Carroll's realize this, so they've come up with 2 very good reasons to get over to the Carroll store nearest you. First, Carroll's has super-looking corduroy vested suits that are regularly $95. They're on sale till Labor Day for only $74.90. And second, Carroll's has versatile, comfortable corduroy sport coats that are regularly $60 on sale for only $49.90. Corduroy suits and sport coats available in regular, short, and long sizes. It's a fall preview that lets you save a lot of money on the latest styles. If you're a Carroll's man, chances are you're going to come to Carroll's anyway for your fall clothes. Why not get over there now and save? When fall comes, you'll be glad you did. There's a Carroll store at State and Washington and another at 63rd in Kedzie. Jim Blackwell is going to be leading off. He forced Trio with a ground ball in the 2nd inning to retire the side. If he gets on, then Burris will come up and see if he can't sacrifice him over. John Adair, our guest here, who sung the national anthem, and a very fine performer. John, have you had a chance in the last few years to see many Cup ball games?
Well, not as many as I would like to have seen, especially after being brought up on the games back in the 50s. But coming out here today, it just amazes me at the spirit. If people talk about Saturday night fever, this is Sunday afternoon fever. It's amazing. You can feel it in the air. It's terrific.
Yeah. There's a contagion to it. First pitch to Jim is a strike on the inside corner. He's batting left-handed. Lacoste, ball, rookie delivers. Fastball in there for another strike. Kept it away from him that time. So he's moved the ball in and out on Blackwell and has jumped out in front of him. 0-2. Cubs have only 3 hits. Got 2 of them in 1 inning. There's a fastball. Put a little extra on it, and they missed outside. 1-2. On the road, do you get a chance to see much baseball, John?
No, not really, Vince. Fortunately, I don't have to travel that much with the type of singing that I do.
1-2 pitch swung on. Well hit fly ball, but Foster moving quickly to his left, and George is under it. Makes the catch. bring up Ray.
But I know if I had the chance, I certainly would.
Yeah.
Out in L.A., whenever I do get out there, I love to see the ball games. And baseball, football, soccer.
Ray getting an excellent hand. His first start in 2 weeks. And he has really made the most of it. Rounded out to Dreesen his first time up. Slashes a foul ball going after a fastball. Parks a souvenir into the hand of a young man up in the upper deck on the first base side. You think he isn't happy? You ever get a chance to play any ball, John?
When I was in high school, I played a little ball. As a matter of fact, I think, didn't Dave Kingman go to Prospect High School?
Sure. There's a swing, and a fly ball, center field. It's going to be caught. Blum is there with the glasses down. He's got it. Is that where you went to high school?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did. And I think Dave was there a few years after I was there, but he's just a tremendous ball player.
Yeah, we're
nice
sure sorry he's injured today.
Yeah, shame.
Who was your coach out there then?
A fellow by the name of Ned Whisson was his name. And I don't know if he's there anymore or not. I haven't had a chance to get back there to see some of the coaches. But we love to play the ball out there. It's great. And to see someone like Dave Kingman come up through the high school and playing now for a team like Chicago Cubs, that's really something.
Sure is. Scott swings, fly ball, got a chance. Coming on, he is Blum, he can't get to it. Rodney Scott is on. Foster finally picks up the ball. He dumped a little Texas leaguer into left center field, and with that wind blowing in from right, it kept moving it away from Mike Love. And Foster could not get there in time either. 2-out single, keeps the inning alive. And that'll bring up Greg Gross, who has a single, and he has reached on an error. Well, we had a heartbreak story out here yesterday. I'll tell you that, John.
I saw it. After seeing Rick on Thursday, Rick Russell did a job.
Yeah, wasn't that that was a great game both by him and Tom Seaver. It really was.
I agree. I mean, this series, you've seen everything. A lot of hits, good pitching. It's just tremendous.
We're hoping desperately, of course, to wind up this homestand with a victory because there's no easy road trip coming up.
That's for sure.
John Adair, thank you so very much, and congratulations again, and not only on your career in show business, but also your great work for St. Jude Research Hospital.
Vince, thank you. It was a real pleasure and privilege for me to be here today. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Greg Gross. Runner at first. He may try to go, and a throw over there by Lacoste. He's back in time, standing. Rodney with 16 stolen bases in 5 attempts. Didn't get any kind of a lead. I look for him to take off. Ross, very tall, ranging. A lot of poise for a rookie. Just came up July 17th. Kick the pitch. Scott doesn't go. Gross makes a bunt. Pitches through to first. Look out. He almost picked him off. Bench may be hampered by the bad back, which wears the corset. Also the ankle, which has a fracture in it. But he still has that gun of an arm. They had asked for an appeal, thinking that Gross may have gone after the pitch away from him as he takes the bunt. But it's outside for ball one. Here's a stretch. Scott does not go. And they slide for a strike over the outside corner. Ball one, strike one. You could tell that Rodney was not going to go that time while he had a pretty good lead. His feet were very widespread, almost doing the splits, and his hands hanging down low. Throw to first. Backhanded grab by Dreesen of that throw, puts the tag on, but Rodney was back standing that time. He is tremendously quick, Scott is. Not just fast. Got himself a pretty good lead again. Doesn't look like he's going to go, and he doesn't. Fastball, it's high. But even though he doesn't go, a runner like that will have a tendency to upset even a veteran pitcher. And, of course, when you have a 22-year-old rookie and you've got a scoreless ball game, which we have here in the fifth inning, and a man like Scott at first, and a big, big house, it can unnerve him. There he goes. Here's the pitch taken. Here's Bench's throw. He slides. He is off the bag. He had it stolen, but he overslid second base, and the tag was put on him. Doug Harvey in perfect position making the call. He had it stolen, but he overslid. So the side is going to be retired, and officially he is caught stealing. Morgan coming over to cover and taking the throw, which he took as it bounced in front of the bag in a fall-away slide to the outfield side. And then he desperately groped back with his hand, trying to get back to the bag, and Morgan beat him. So in the fifth inning, no runs, one hit, nobody left on, and at the end of 5, it is still 0-0.
General Finance, friendly Bob Adams.
Bob, it's Bruce Russell, and I'm ready to go with an auto loan.
Good, we'll be...
I'll bring you up to date on some of these scores. Atlanta at St. Louis this afternoon got the pair in the top of the fourth, but St. Louis came back to regain the lead with a run in the bottom of the fourth inning, 3-2 Cardinals. Cleveland just hit the White Sox with 5 more, and it's the Indians 8, White Sox 1 at the end of 4 over in Cleveland. Minnesota 1, Toronto nothing at the end of 3. Rose stepping in, Pete takes the fastball, and Ray is in too close, ball 1. Texas 1, Kansas City nothing. That's at the bottom of the fourth at KC. 1-0 delivery. This is inside above the knees. The Dodgers and New York Mets at the end of 5. New York 2, Dodgers nothing. And now Toronto has hit Minnesota with 4 in the top of the fourth inning, 4-1 Blue Jays. And Kansas City did not score in the bottom of the fourth. Rangers batting in the fifth with a 1-0 lead. 2-0 pitch. Takes the curve, and it's low, let up on it. He wouldn't go after it. 3-0 on Rose leading off the sixth inning. Here's the pitch. There's the strike. Took a little bit off of it. Rose was taking all the way. Ball 3, strike 1. He has walked only one man, and that was Griffey leading off the fourth inning. But he struck out Foster. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. Bouncing ball to Manny. Trio on 2 hops. He's got it. Rose is gone. Nice score. He came in there with it on 3-1. He was not going to walk him. That brings up Joe Morgan. Popped up and fouled out to Rodney Scott. Boy, it is so heartening to have this kind of a pitching performance from Ray here this afternoon. Left-hander in the batter's box. Morgan checks his swing at a breaking pitch. It's a little low, ball 1. Wind up, 1-0 delivery. There's a strike. Change speeds on him. That levels the count. 1-1 on Morgan. They have one hit, a 2-out single by Concepcion in the second inning. He has walked one man, struck out 3. It's a great performance. Ball 1, strike 1 pitch. Here's the windup, and Morgan goes after a fastball, fouls it out of play down the left field line. Ball 1, strike 2. The Reds start today in third place in the Western Division, a game behind San Francisco, 2 games behind the Dodgers. 1-2 delivery. Morgan takes it high, fastball, 2-2 on him. And the Cubs, just 3 games behind the Philadelphia Phillies, who ended their losing streak last night behind Carlton's shutout. 2-2 delivery. Swing and a tap foul. One after that changeup. Ball 2, strike 2. Most observers, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Ray Burris' pitching arm. When he puts it together mechanically and mentally, he can be as tough as anybody in the league. Pitching is a very fine art. And when you don't have that body rhythm, or your mental approach may not be right on a certain day, things can start going haywire for you. Cleveland leading the Sox 8-1, bottom of at the end of 5 innings of play now. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Morgan takes a ball a little bit low, 3-2 on it. 1 out, bases empty. Wind up in the pitch. That's too high. He lost it. It's a breaking ball. A little Joe, who has not been able to run with the abandon of other years, walks down to first base. So far this year, he is 15-5 in stolen bases. Way below par for him. taking a new kind of treatment now for that abdominal muscle pull that has plagued him all season long, and he thinks that it's responding to that treatment. Here's Ken Griffey, yesterday's hero, insofar as the Reds are concerned. Left-hander has walked and flied to right. First pitch. Sinks too low. Ball one on him. Ray, in 2 days, will be celebrating his 28th birthday. Blackwell gives him his sign. Morgan a pretty good lead, and Ray just tosses one over there. Ron Plaza, their first base coach this year. Alex Gramus back in the coach's box at third after a 10-year as manager up at Milwaukee. Now the stretch. 1-0 delivery. Fastball, and he's high with it. Ball two. Suddenly having control problems. Morgan a good lead at first base. 2-0 pitch coming up to Griffey. The left-hander swings, ground ball, 3 to his right, could be 2. Flips to Jesus to relay. They got the double play. And it is not easy when you have a left-hander with the speed of Griffey. And Morgan angrily kicking at the dust behind second base. A beautiful double play for the Cubs. They're 108th of the year. That's the kind of defense that wins tight ball games for you. Buckner making a long stretch and got off that first base bag in a hurry. In the 6th inning, no runs, no hits, nobody left on. And the Cubs come to bat at Wrigley Field, standing room only. It is still 0-0.
If you own a battery-operated portable radio, a cassette recorder, or calculator, you need to buy batteries that work better in the long run. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you True Value Hardware stores offer ever-ready transistor batteries designed to provide dependable, low-level power that outlasts ordinary flashlight batteries in transistor use, yet they only cost a few cents more. Get ever-ready transistor batteries. A 4-pack of AA's is just 88 cents, and a 2-pack of 9-volt size is $1.09 at participating True Value Hardware stores.
Good morning. I'd like to try the breakfast with the hash browns, please.
Oh, McDonald's scrambled eggs and sausage and hash browns breakfast with an English muffin.
What's the name of it?
Oh, we don't have a name.
You need Punchy here. You need name Punchy quick.
Oh, you mean like Egg McMuffin?
Greg Berthoshtum.
McCain sauce hash brown.
Next gram.
Ham steak.
No.
Napo sauce.
Potato muffin.
McMuffin.
Oh, no.
McDonald's scrambled eggs and sausage and hash browns breakfast.
So you do want that?
I'll have that.
You got it.
Our scrambled eggs and sausage and hash browns breakfast.
Oh, I tell you, those folks sitting over in the apartment building across the street behind the left field wall across on Waverland Avenue really got themselves a beautiful perch here today. They're loving it. Greg Gross, who was in the batter's box when Rodney Scott was thrown out trying to steal in the 5th inning leading off, and the first pitch of a left-hander is strike. Mike Lacoste delivers. Fastball swung on, fly ball. Lum with the glasses down is in center field under it. Makes the catch. Had a little trouble with that sun, even though he had the shades on. Bright sky here today, and the breeze continuing to blow in from the east over the right field wall. Here's Bill Buckner, grounded hard into a double play in the first inning, flied out to Lum to retire the side in the 3rd. Martinez going for the Orioles this afternoon out of California against Nolan Ryan, who's 6-4. Martinez 9-10 for Baltimore. Detroit, Milwaukee scoreless after 2. Caldwell going after his 16th win for the Brewers. Buck takes, and Lacoste misses with the first pitch outside. Boy, what a good-looking young pitcher this kid is. Here's the windup. Buckner goes after the fastball. Buck got under it, fouled it back out of play. Ball 1, strike 1 on him. He's going over to towel off the bat. The larder is sure full here today. Yesterday, some folks had sent some of that great candy down from Richmond, Indiana. And today, from Richmond, Grace Ewer. No, I'm sorry. He's from Bettendorf. And some cookies up with a little note that says, "Thank you for the hours of great listening to Cub baseball. Grace Ewer." Up on the dice. New glasses being brought out to the right fielder, Ken Griffey. Carl Erickson, work of Friendship Conduit down of Flossmoor. Got a pull bore up here. That'll be called a Richmond. Wind up, 1-1 pitch. Buck takes, fastball outside. And Lacoste wants a new baseball. Ball 2, strike 1. Cubs have had the only solid threats today. Mercer led off the second inning with a single. With one out, Trio got him the second of the base hit. 2-1 pitch. Swung out a high pitch that he tried to slap to left field and fouled it down the left field line. 2-2 on 22. But then DeJesus flied out to Foster, and Blackwell hit a grounder. That forced Trio at second. The Cubs left 2 men on. Mercer led off the fourth inning with a walk and still second. Got to third on Bittner's ground out. We had a man at third with one away. But Trio went after a breaking pitch, grounded out to Concepcion with the infield. Well, Concepcion was in about halfway. And Mercer had to hold on that one. And then DeJesus grounded out to the first baseman to retire the side. Buck goes after that pitch, fouls it back out of play. Rising fastball. And that is probably Lacoste's best pitch. A fastball that will rise. Got good action on it. And a reddish hair. Not kind of reddish, it is reddish. Curly. Here's the windup, 2-2 pitch. Swung on, a tap down to Greason on the right side. Lacoste off the mound. Greason was going to throw to him, did not. And he loses Buckner. He did everything but tossing the ball. And Buck is on. That could be a big break. Let's see what will develop. It was a slow bouncer. Pulled Greason way off the bag. And Lacoste was coming over to first base for some mysterious reason. Greason went through with an underhand action as though he were going to toss the pitcher the ball. Didn't do it. And he lost the race to the bag. And Buckner is on with a single. Brings up Mercer, was singled and walked. First pitch. Takes to strike a fastball right at the letters. Vince Lloyd here with you at Wrigley Field. A scoreless ball game. Burris has allowed one hit, a single by Concepcion. The Cubs now with 5 base hits of 22-year-old Mike Lacoste. Right-hander is ready. Here's the pitch. Takes. Strike over the outside corner, 0-2. Pittsburgh trouncing Houston 7-4 in their first game this afternoon. That's at the end of 6. Pirates have won 7 out of their last 8 ball games. The opener today, Rooker had just signed a long-term contract. Here's a swing, a hard shot to Greason. Turns, throws to second, gets back, the relay, they get the double play. Greason that time took the ball about 3 steps away from first base. He was going to step on first and then throw to second, and wisely changed his mind. Wheeled and threw to second to Concepcion. They got Buckner easily. Concepcion's throw drove him down, and the relay back to Greason was in plenty of time for the second Cincinnati double play of the ball game and their 85th of the year. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on. So each team sparkling out here this afternoon. Insofar as the defense is concerned. That, of course, includes the pitching. And at the end of 6 full innings of play, no score.
When you brew a beer once, you've got a good beer. But when you brew a beer twice, you've got a great light beer. A great light beer called Old Style from God's country. Heileman's Old Style is brewed in a traditional old world way called krausening. Krausening is the most natural way to brew beer and the most expensive. Most expensive because it takes more time. But Heileman has been brewing beer this way since we first opened our doors back in 1853. Krausening is what makes Old Style the great light beer it is today. Taste the difference Krausening makes. Try Old Style, pure brewed in God's country. G. Heileman Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Well, could be a break is going to decide this one. Both teams have been superb. And Burris' pitching has just been unmatched. Foster is going to lead off. He forced Pete Rose after Pete reached on an error to open up the ball game. That ended the first inning. Foster, after Griffey walked the lead off the fourth, struck out. So he's 0 for 2 today. Burris' first pitch to him, a breaking ball into the dirt. Bounces back up onto the net. 0-1. Ray, in the last couple of innings, has been working from behind more often than not. Wind up, 1-0 delivery. Jexy swing, and he did not hold up in time. He went on through. He was fooled by that one. Good let up. Ball 1, strike 1 on him. Wind up the pitch. Look out. That hit him. Tried to twist out of the way of a ball coming in on him right at the waistline. To a hit batsman. The 6th that Burris has hit this year to open up the 7th inning. Ray is still allowed only one base hit, a single by Concepcion back in the 2nd inning with 2 out. Now Dan Dreesen, who has started a couple of double plays today, steps in. He has bounced out to Creel, flied out to left field. A tough left-handed hitter. Foster lead at first, a short one. Burris delivers. Dreesen takes. The fastball is low, ball 1. Anytime when you get this late in a ball game, where it is tied, as this one is, and that leadoff man gets on, it makes you nervous. 1-0 delivery. Jexy swing on that let up. They asked for the appeal. And the third base umpire, Andy Olson, said Dreesen went through. Ball 1, strike 1. Standing room only again today. Probably the biggest crowd of this 4-game series. Here's a stretch by Ray. And the pitch. Takes a strike away. Letter high fastball to Dreesen. Ball 1, strike 2. Creel is still shading a bit up towards the middle on this left-handed hitter. Buckner, of course, holding Foster on. Here's a pitch. He gets under it, fouls it back out of play. Ball 1, strike 2. Burris with 3 strikeouts for the day. 1 walk and now a hit batsman. 1 single off of him. We are in the 7th. 0-0. Right-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Dreesen takes. Just missed in at the knees. Ball 2, strike 2. Seaver and Rick Russell match pitches. That was a honey. With Rick getting a shutout. 2-2 delivery. Dreesen swings, bouncing ball. Backhanded by Buckner, steps in the back, throws to second, and it gets away from DeJesus. Foster will be at second base. That would have been a very, very tough double play. Because Buckner had to come back after backhanding the ball, had to come back to the bag. And it would have had to be a perfect throw in there to DeJesus. But it was sinking into the dirt and out to the shortstop side of the bag. So Foster is on. 1 away. And Mike Rourke is coming out to talk to Burris before he faces bench. We got to pause a moment here for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
And this is WGN Radio Chicago.
Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here with you. It's the first real scoring threat they've had, Lou.
Yes, indeed. After the play is over, of course, you can say, well, I wish he would have went to second first to force that man with a 0-0 score. But he was close enough to that base to tag it. But it's a very difficult play to make, even though Dreesen has done it several times today. Remember in the last inning, he went to second base first.
Yes, he
did. To knock off that run.
Yeah. Started to do it the other way, changed his mind wisely. Here's Bench swinging, base hit down the left field line. The Reds take the lead. Ball gets away from Victor. He falls down, and Bench goes into second base. Bench ripped a shot between Scott and the third base line.
This is what we mean. Greason changed his mind in the bottom of the other inning because he remembered what the score was. One run here is very important. And now, of course, Bench has just changed positions with Foster.
Their second hit of the day. And they have themselves a 1-0 lead.
I'd like to know the conversation that went on between Rourke and Burris, whether Burris talked himself out of walking Bench to pitch to Concepcion. I wondered if that was the conversation. We can only speculate.
Yeah. Sometimes you wish you had a phone down here to the dugout. Of course, a lot of times nobody's going to answer it anyway.
Or you can't use the words
that
they would tell us over there.
Willie Hernandez gets up in the bullpen the first time anybody's been in either bullpen today. That pitch is strike to Davy. There's a swing, bouncing ball foul down the third base side. A hit batsman, a ground out, and a blistering shot by Bench, who was just batted in his 48th run of the year. I'm also trying to recollect in my mind, Lou, how far Scott was playing Bench off that line at third in that spot.
Well, it was a very difficult play.
0-2 pitch. I think he'd have probably had to be playing right up against the line almost, indeed.
He would have had to have been guarding the line.
Wasted that one. Ball 1, strike 2. 1-0 Cincy. The long look at second by Burris, and the pitch. Concepcion takes the curve low and away, and he looked like he wanted to slap that pitch into right field if it was anywhere near the strike zone. Ball 2, strike 2. What you want, of course, is your starting pitcher to keep you in the ball game, and Burris has done that. Concepcion trying to go to right field, and he fouls that one out of play into the upper deck on the right side. Ball 2, strike 2 on Davy. Used to be a time you'd never find a baseball player wearing uniform number 13. But over the years, there have been quite a few of them, including Davy. Bench at second, 1 away, 2-2 pitch. Sidearms him. Liner to Trio. Has no chance for a double play. Bench scampering back into the bag. 2 gone. Seems to me, Lou, that this year we've seen Concepcion just time after time after time try to go to right field far more frequently than he used to.
It makes him a better hitter, too, Vince, in my opinion. Even though he hit the ball well and lined out. But he's a tougher hitter going to the other way, and he can do it very well.
He sure can. Hey, you can't argue with him when he's got a 306 batting average starting today and 54 runs batted in. Now, Mike Lum will be walked intentionally. The pitcher, Mike Lacoste, is due up next. And Sparky, deep in thought over there. Michael bat for himself. This kid's got a shutout on 5 hits and a couple of Cincinnati double plays behind him. He got out of one real good jam when the Cubs had a man on at third with only 1 away. But he got Trio to ground out to the shortstop when they were pulled in with 1 away, and Mercer, the runner at third, had to hold. And he got the next batter, De Jesus, to ground out to the first baseman. Lacoste popped up and looked at strike 3. Runners at first and second. He takes. It's a letter high strike. The intentional walk to Mike Lum. Runners at first and second, 2 away. Ray from the stretch. Long look at second. Delivers. Fastball fouled out of play the right side. 0-2. Superb pitching, superb defense. He was trying to jam Foster in the 7th inning when George led off. And unfortunately, that pitch kept running in on him and grazed him right at the midsection. He has scored. Swing and a miss on a let-up curveball. He has fanned the pitcher to retire the side. But 1 run on a hit batsman and 1 hit. intentional walk and 2 men left on. The standing room only crowd on an absolutely gorgeous day. Standing for the 7th inning stretch at beautiful Wrigley Field with the score now, the Reds 1 and the Cubs 0.
You're the one that keeps coming back. There's something about a Big Mac that keeps you coming back. Keeps you coming back. Coming back to that Big Mac. Isn't the truth? All beef patty, special sauce, lettuce and cheese. All the pickles and onions on a bun. Could it be those sesame seeds? You're the one that keeps coming back. There's something about a Big Mac that keeps you coming back. Keeps you coming back. Coming back to that Big Mac. No matter where you're going, you keep on coming back to McDonald's store again for one more Big Mac at McDonald's. We do it all for you. Coming back to a Big Mac. We do it all for you. Coming back to a Big Mac.
Super crowd today, let me tell you. Geronimo, who's been warming up in their bullpen, has gone out to play center field now in the defensive move, replacing Mike Love. Well, he still has a sore shoulder. There's nothing wrong with his legs. Mike Lacasse with 3 victories in the major leagues since coming up from Indianapolis, July 17th. 22-year-old rookie. Let me tell you, he has been tough. Good fastball, good breaking pitches, and he has walked only 1 man today. That was Mercer leading off the 4th. Bittner steps in. Larry looks at a strike. Bittner has struck out and grounded out. DeGreason, his ground out came with Mercer at second and nobody out in the 4th, cutting to 3rd. Swings at a bouncing ball to DeGreason. He was playing him only about 3 feet away from the line, and he makes an easy unassisted putout.
You know, that fella's not too far away from a record over there with assists.
He's really some today, boy.
And putouts. Well, not so much putouts, but assists.
Yeah. The game opened with Scott, for the Cubs, that is. Scott grounded out to him. Then, after a gross single, Buckner grounded to Dreesen, put the tag on him, and threw to second for a double play. So he was involved in all 3 putouts, getting 2 outs and 1 assist in the 1st inning. Batter's box is Creel, was 1 for 2. First pitch to him a strike. There's a breaking ball, down and away, 1-1. See, and he got Burris for an unassisted putout. In the 3rd inning, got Bittner in the 3rd, unassisted. His 4th putout. There's a strike. And he got an unassisted putout on DeJesus in that 4th inning. Trio with a count of 1-2. And then in the 5th, here's the pitch. Swung on a high chopper to Rose at 3rd. And he is going to be out of there. He is. Base is empty. 2 gone for DeJesus. 0 for 2 against Lacasse. He got an assist and a putout in the 6th inning. He's got at least 7 putouts here. Most of them just by himself. Yvonne wide to left, grounded out to Dreesen. Lacasse winds. Misses. No, he caught the inside corner with a breaking ball. Yvonne thought he might have missed with it. Stepped away. Jimmy Quick working beyond the plate. Says it's a strike. Here's the windup, the delivery. That one is a fastball that sails high. 1-1. Loose jointed, tall, 22-year-old, red-haired, freckled-faced rookie, Mike Lacasse. And he has been impressive, I guarantee you. There's a swing and a high fly ball. Geronimo going back. The center fielder waits. He's got it. Makes a one-handed catch. 3 up and 3 down. At the end of 7. The Reds have the top of the batting order up, and they still lead 1-0.
The gallant band of old. We make car buying a pleasure again.
Can I help you?
Don't pressure us.
Irma, he hasn't done anything.
Oh, he will. Go ahead, push us, shove us, make us do something against our will.
What for? These Oldsmobiles practically sell themselves.
Sarcasm. Oh, did I hear sarcasm?
No, ma'am. I mean it. Look, take your time, look around. If you need me, I'll be here.
You see, George?
See what?
He's ignoring us.
Irma, not all salesmen are the same. Just because you've been mistreated elsewhere. You see the sign over there?
The gallant men of old, we make car buying a pleasure again. Well, are they really gallant?
Well, if he's still willing to talk to you, dear.
Sir?
Can I help you? Now?
The gallant band of old. We make car buying a pleasure again. The gallant band of old. We make car buying a pleasure again. The gallant band of old.
Pete Rose, 0 for 3 today. But he led off the ball game, reaching on an error against the Cubs third baseman, Rodney Scott. Eventually was forced at second base. Thrown out in the third on a fine play as Buckner dove for a ball to his right and threw to Burris for the putout. Then he grounded out to Manny Trio in the 6th inning. Just rechecking the fielding stats today on their third baseman, Dan Dreesen, 9 putouts, 2 assists. 2 big double plays that he's been involved in. Rose, Morgan, and Grippy. Left-handers. There's a swing, and a fastball is fouled. Way down the left field line, out of play. Jerry White still out of action because of that pulled hamstring that he suffered, making a tremendous play in this series a couple of days ago. Hopefully, he'll be ready in another day or so. 0-1 pitch. Fastball foul, back up onto the net. 0-2. Dave Kingman checked in today with an injury. He had to be scratched from the starting lineup. Hurt himself bringing luggage into the ballpark. 0-2 pitch. Ball low and inside. 1-2. The injury was between the breastbone and the rib cage. A joint there. There's a strike called on Pete Rose. And the crowd loves it. It's only the 23rd time this year that Pete has struck out. The 9th time as a left-hander. And probably about the 2nd time he's been called out all year. Morgan walked in the 6th inning with 1 out, was rubbed out on a double play ball. He's 0 for 2 today and has not been able to get the ball out of the infield. Takes that one, a fastball, a little low. Ray delivers. Let up, swung out, a high drive. Deep right field, wind pushing it, keeping it in. Mercer grabs it. Whoa, thank heaven for that wind coming in, or that ball would have been in the bleachers. Mercer caught it just in front and under the basket of the bleachers in right field. He hit that one, Lou, harder than Grippy hit his yesterday.
I think he's getting back to normal, which means this Cincinnati ball club will be tough because I think he's the leader of that Red.
He's the catalyst for him. 2 gone. Grippy's batting. 0 for 2 today. Swings at the first pitch, lifts a high fly ball that Bittner will collar. He's under it. Grab it, Larry. He does. A very, very easy inning. Boy, Burris has really been something here today. But as the Reds take the field and the Cubs come to bat in the bottom of the 8th, Ray is scheduled to be the 2nd hitter for the Cubs. He is trailing. But since he won, the Cubs nothing.
Double up America. 2 can ride cheaper than 1. Double up
by yourself, you're spending twice as much money on commuting as you should. And that's too much. Cut it in half. Take a friend. Not only will your daily commute cost less, but it'll be a lot more pleasant. Carpools are a great way to get where you're going. Faster and cheaper. Double up, America. Two can ride cheaper than one.
Double up, America. Two can ride cheaper than one. Double up, America. Two can ride cheaper than one.
Big group from Richmond, Illinois, from Andre's restaurant up there, Joan Danaher. Widow of the late Matt Danaher, group of 100. Yosh Kalana says you better get that on or you're in trouble. Would have anyway, Yosh. Dave Rader is going to bat for Blackwell, who is 0 for 2 today. Rader has gone into a tailspin with that bat of his a couple of months ago. The left-handed hitting catcher is batting just 196 for the year. As a pinch hitter, Rader 1 for 6, and that one was a grand slam homer. Burris, he is going to be taken out for a pinch hitter. Boy, I hope the Cubs can get him off the hook. He deserves a victory. First pitch of the ball from Mike Lacoste. Rookie fires a strike. Took it over the outside corner. While Ray has been just great, this kid has been tremendously impressive. 1-1 delivery. Swung on and a high fly ball. Coming on, Geronimo going out. Morgan, who's going to get it? Geronimo. And he wound up only about 75 or 80 feet away from second base.
I wonder if Lum could have come in that fast.
Thought that was going through my mind. I don't think he could have, Lou.
No, that Geronimo's a great outfielder. Gets a great jump on a ball.
Now, Mike Vail will pinch hit for Ray Burris. Come on, let's get some runs. Mike, 8 for 17 now. Failed yesterday as a pinch hitter. 8 for 17 with 8 runs batted in. How about hitting one over the wall, huh? Day scored when Ray hit Foster with a pitch leading off the 7th inning, and he came in on a 1-out double. First pitch, a strike to fastball. Here's the windup and the strike one pitch. He pushes the butt and he pops it up right to Johnny Bench. He doesn't even know where it is. He's hustling down that line. Popped it up about 3 feet away from the plate. He was trying to push it by the pitcher. He got under it. 2 gone. 39,242 paid today. 39,801 total. And this has set a record for a 4-game series at Wrigley Field. 148,771. Beat the old record that they drew against Pittsburgh by more than 20,000. Oh, man. I hope they see a win here today for the Cubs. Rodney Scott with the bases empty. 8th inning. Had a strike on him. Goss delivers. Fastball. He takes strike on the outside corner. 0-2. And this kid is tough. Boy, you'd think that he'd lose his cool out there. Looks like he's been pitching in the majors for 20 years. 0-2 pitch. High and away. Wasted it. 1-2. He's only 22 years of age. Vail didn't think he could hit one out on him. Tried to reach with a bunt. Pops it up. Bases empty in the eighth. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball did not catch the strike zone. 2-2. Sparky has Bear throwing in the bullpen. Boy, this guy's going. He won't need him. There's a swing and a base hit. Dumps one into shallow center field. Not even Geronimo can get to that one. Rodney in the fifth inning, after Blackwell and Burris had flied out singles. Now with 2 out, he dumps another one into center field. Greg Gross, the batter. Singles reached an air and fly to center. The Cubs with 6 hits. Lacoste has struck out only one man. But he's had that good rising fastball. He's thrown the good breaking pitch, slider, and curve, and gotten a lot of the Cubs to hit it right into the dirt. All in all, though, he has looked like one of the most impressive young pitchers we've seen in I don't know how long.
You're absolutely right, and especially in this ball game, a one-run ball game, you know that every pitch is very important.
He has been something. Walked one man, Mercer, got out of a real good jam in that fourth inning. With a man at third and 1 out. 0-1 delivery. Scott's not going to go. Gross takes it high. Ball 1, strike 1. When Rodney takes that lead where he has his feet spread so wide, almost doing the splits, arms hanging down low, fingertips almost on the dirt, there's just no way that he can go. Now he doesn't do that. He may want to go now. Nope. And Greg takes a strike. 1 and 2. He thought that was out of the strike zone.
I think he'll go now with 2 strikes on Gross.
See if he won't. We mentioned earlier that Greg rarely strikes out. And he looks like he's digging in to go. Here he goes. Here's the pitch high. Benches throw. He slides. He is safe at second base. You could really see him getting a toe hold with his spikes on his right foot so he could really shove off. And he stole it easily. He's 17 and 6 in stolen bases. That's the tying run if Greg can bring him in. This 22-year-old with the knot of red curls, well below that red Cincinnati cap, lean-jawed, thrown away, and some of Mr. Wrigley's finest, looks down to get his sign, seems unperturbed. The kick, the pitch. Swung out. Liner, caught! Davy Concepcion! A leaping catch, robbing Gross of a base hit and robbing the Cubs of a run. Holy mackerel. Davy Concepcion went high in the air. Hands way up over his head. A tremendous catch. Gee,
that could be a game saver right there.
Well, it sure has preserved the lead. Man. Son of a gun, no runs, a hit, one man left on. So we're going into the ninth. And Cincy still leads, 1-0.
General Finance, friendly Bob Adams.
Carrie Potterfield here, Bob, for a home repair loan.
That can be easily arranged, Carrie. Some damage at home?
Yeah, our little Binky is getting kind of playful.
What breed is he?
He's an American buffalo, Bob.
A buffalo?
The wife heard they were an endangered species, so we took one in.
You must have a big house.
You bet. 2 bedrooms.
Is there room for all of you, Carrie?
Oh, sure, unless Binky chases a car. He likes to bring him home, Bob.
I see.
And this morning he was sleeping at the foot of our bed when he hears the milkman.
You sleep with a buffalo?
Binky just ran right out to lick his hand, so we need a loan.
I don't follow.
Binky can't open the door, Bob.
Oh, so he just went right through these, right? Well, I'll get to work on your home repair loan, Carrie.
Oh, thanks, Bob. Sit, Binky. No, not there.
When you need financial assistance, General Finance has a plan to fit your needs.
It makes sense to call General Finance for their person-to-person Bob Adams service. General Finance has the professional experience and the particular plan for your particular need. There are 70 General Finance Chicago area offices, so call friendly Bob Adams to borrow up to $10,000. Call Andover 32020. Also an office in Joliet.
Oh, man, oh, man. Well, give Concepcion credit. Timed his leap perfectly. Well, we'll give one more shot at him. Now, let's see if Donnie Moore can hold him in here in the ninth inning. It'll be Foster, Dreesen, and Bench. Let's hope that's all. Foster led off the seventh inning, and Ray, very, very unintentionally, raised him in the midsection with a pitch. He got to second on Dreesen's ground out to Buckner, who tried to get the hard way double play, missed on it. Foster getting into second, and Bench then ripped a double inside the third base line. And he tallied the only run so far. There's a swing. He goes to right field. Mercer on the dead run. Can't get to it. Slips a little bit, overruns the ball, and Foster goes into second base with an opposite field double. Had he heard us asking earlier, Lou, whether or not he could even go to right?
Well, he did it, and that's the reason why he was successful, because Cubs were playing him not to go to the opposite field, playing him to pull.
Man, oh man. George Foster, the scorer, the only run of the day, threatening to score his second one with a leadoff double against Donnie Moore into right field. He's a very quiet, introspective man, Foster is. What a hitter. Now Buckner edging in, Trio coming in on the right side, De Jesus hanging back a bit, coming in just about halfway in the left. And the hitter, Dan Dreesen, gets under that first pitch of Donnie's and fouls it back out of play for a strike. Well, Houston tried to come back, but they didn't quite make it in the first game. Red Hot Pirates now have won 8 out of 9. They win the first game from Houston 7-6. The look at second by Donnie. Dreesen takes. It's a ball a little bit high, 1-1. Beautiful day for a ball game, but doggone. Cubs have not been able to score. Ball got away from the bullpen. Tim Blackwell out of the lineup now with Rader doing the catching after pinch hitting for him. Retrieved it. Here's a pitch. Dreesen swings and a little pop-up going out to Jesus. Coming in is Bittner, who's going to get it. De Jesus over the shoulder catch. Boy, it's a good thing he was there because Bittner could not have gotten in for it. A tough one. Jesus racing way out into left field. Very, very, very tough over the shoulder, two-handed catch. Dreesen going the other way. One out. Let's take a moment for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
And this is WGN Radio Chicago.
Yesterday, when Dreesen was at first base and the liner hit to Mercer in right, he took off for second, and they got his attention to send him back to first. They're going to put Bench on intentionally here to put runners at first and second. What they did not do in the seventh inning. And he doubled, drove in the run. But Dreesen, after the ball was dropped by Mercer, he appeared to overrun it, and it got behind him after it deflected off his glove. Dreesen then turned and headed back into first base. And Ron Lopez, the coach there, said, No, go back, go back, go back. He said, I ain't going back. I was just there, and they told me to come back here. And he was smiling when he said it. And he could smile even more when the ball game was over because they had won it. That had occurred in the 10th inning. So Bench on with an intentional walk. They elected to pitch to him in the 7th inning with one out and Foster at second. And he doubled and drove in the only run so far. Now Concepcion stepping in. He's gone to the right side all day today. Swings on that first pitch and fouls it straight back for a strike. Boy, the Sox sure had their winning streak ended today. 10-1 Cleveland. Might as well lose big, I guess. 0-1 delivery by Donnie. Strike called right at the knees. He's out in front of Concepcion. Cincinnati runners at first and second. Top of the 9th inning. Reds with a 1-0 lead. One away. Moore working in relief of Burris, who pitched superbly today. Allowed only 2 hits in 8 innings. 0-2 pitch. Swung on. Ground ball to Scott. He has to wait for it. Foster trapped between second and third. Scott puts a tag on him. Bench is out at second. Concepcion reaches on a fielder's choice. And they're two gone. And Herman Frank's coming out now. We have Geronimo, a left-handed hitting center fielder who came on in for defensive reasons, the hitter, and Willie Hernandez throwing in the bullpen along with Len McLaughlin. And Herman Lou, I think, will go to Willie one.
Yes, he's got to protect that one run, keep that as a deficit. He don't want any more runs, and we only have one shot at Cincinnati.
And that one shot will bring to bat in the ninth inning for the Cubs the 3, 4, and 5 men at least in the batting order. Let's hope a lot more after that. Buckner will lead off the ninth when the Cubs come to bat. And Willie Hernandez coming in from the bullpen with Cincinnati leading 1-0, a delay here at Wrigley Field. Well, if you like close ball games and superb pitching, good defense, this is your cup of tea today. Would be just magnificent if it was 1-0 Cubs. Of course, if you're a Cincinnati fan, you say, forget about that nonsense. Sparky Anderson has Bear, and I believe that's Tomlin throwing in his bullpen, ready for the bottom of the ninth inning. And Willie Hernandez will be facing Cesar Geronimo, who will be batting for the first time today. Geronimo hitting .229 with 5 homers, 26 runs batted in. Made a long, long run in and caught up with one off the bat of Dave Rader, leading off the 8th inning when Rader came in as a pinch hitter. Nursing a bad shoulder. All right, Willie, let's get him out of there. Bench is the runner at second. Concepcion at first base. 1-0 Reds. Top of the ninth inning with 2 gone. Now, as Rader was all set to give the sign, he decides, I better go out there and recheck to be sure that we're thinking together. $39,242 paid. Almost $40,000 total here at Wrigley Field. On a day that was, well, if you drew a blueprint for one, this is what you'd like it to be. Cool breeze, a bright, clear sky, temperature about 70. Willie makes a toss to first base, Concepcion back. All right, Willie, let's just bear down and take care of Geronimo. Get this thing over with. The Cubs come to bat in the bottom of the ninth. Here's the pitch. Fastball. It's in there for a strike call. The win by Pittsburgh in their first game. At this moment, they trail the Cubs by just 3 games, and they're 6 behind the Phillies, who are playing tonight at Philadelphia. 0-1 delivery, reaches down after a curve, fouls it back, 0-2. Houston this year has been playing Sunday night ball 2 or 3 times. We had one down there. And I think, Lou, this is the first time the Phillies have played one on Sunday night.
Very unusual for them to play in Philadelphia night game.
Want to wish him all the bad luck in the world?
Indeed.
Sidearm curve, he lays off, and it's high and away, 1-2. Don't want anybody to get hurt, just like to see the Giants beat them. Hernandez gets the attention of Jim Quick. He wants a new baseball. 1-0 Cincy. They have 3 hits. 1 in this inning. The Cubs have 6, but they've got the lead. 2 gone. Runners at first and second. Put him away now, Willie. Come on. He's into the stretch. The kick, the pitch. Geronimo swings and misses. He's got him. Side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left on. Bill Buckner will be coming to bat for the Cubs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Cincy, 1 of the Cubs, 0.
True Value Hardware stores can help you keep your lawn from dying of thirst this summer with their selection of L.R. Nelson lawn sprinklers to suit any size yard and watering need, like the L.R. Nelson Dial-A-Rain oscillating sprinkler for just $17.88. The Dial-A-Rain features 4-position coverage that eliminates puddling and can uniformly water up to 3,000 square feet at once. True Value Hardware stores also offer the L.R. Nelson 3-arm sprinkler. It whirls water in a square pattern so you can water your lawn right up to the edge of the sidewalk without visitors or passers-by getting wet. 3-arm sprinkler can cover areas up to 45 feet by 45 feet, and it's anniversary priced at just $4.99. Get the quality L.R. Nelson lawn sprinkler that fits your watering needs at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
True Value Hardware is more than just a name. It's a way of doing business that means True Value.
Come on now, gang. Let's get some runs, huh? 2 of them. That's all we need. Thursday, we had a paid crowd of 36,814. Rick Russell, superb, a 4-hit shutout. The Cubs will win 2-0. Friday, the Reds winning at 8-3. 33,416. Yesterday, 38,740. This is the biggest crowd of the series. 39,242 paid. You still have that big gang of Cincinnati boosters over here, 700 of them for this series. Standing in the bleachers, give out with a big roar, led by Vance Fothergill on that organ. Man, oh man, wouldn't it be great to pull this one out, Lou?
Oh, anyhow.
Buckner takes Lacasse. Fastball outside for ball 1.
This would mean more to us to pull this one out than yesterday's did to Cincinnati.
Yes, sir. Sure would. Tough battler in that batter's box. Bill Buckner. 1-0 pitch. Swung out. Fly ball. Geronimo's got time. He's there. Waits for it. One-handed catch. 1 away. Oh, this kid, Lacasse, I don't know how he can pitch any tougher. He came in here with 3 wins, 2 losses. After coming up to the majors July 17th, had beaten Montreal, Atlanta, San Diego, had lost to San Diego and New York, carried an earned run average of over 4. He had walked 25 men in just under 43 innings. He's walked only 1 today, and that was Mercer in the 4th inning, who got as far as 3rd with 1 away. Bobby hit into a double play in the 6th, and he takes a strike. He singled, leading off the 2nd inning. So twice he led off an inning by reaching. And this kid just keeps firing. Fastball swung out, pulls it down to Dreesen, drops it, picks it up. He still has time to step in the bag. And that for Dreesen is his 10th put out of the afternoon. He was deep guarding the line. One last hope remaining. Larry Bittner. They have 6 hits, 1 run. Or they have 3 hits, 1 run. The Cubs, 6 hits, have not yet scored. A lot of the folks now heading for the exits. Bittner swings, drive into left field. It is in there, base hit. Still alive. Bittner had struck out, twice grounded out to Dreesen at first. Now in the 9th inning, a single to left. Trio, the hitter. We had a good shot at this kid in the 2nd inning when Mercer singled. Bittner struck out. Trio singled. Mercer had to stop at 2nd. And De Jesus flied out, and Blackwell hit into a force play. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Swung on. Ground ball base hit. Buster charging in. Bittner has to stop at 2nd base. 2nd straight hit. Number 8 of the day for the Cubs. But we're still trailing 1-0. Trio pulled that one between Rose and Concepcion. Sparky Anderson is going to take the kid out. Still in his mid-40s, Sparky, silver-haired, going to go to Doug Bear. Morgan gives a pat on the fanny to Mike Lacasse, the rookie right-hander, 22 years of age. He has an 8-hit shutout as he leads in the 9th inning with runners at 1st and 2nd. We have another delay at Wrigley Field. Let's take time out for this message.
Hello, General Finance, friendly Bob Adams.
Hi, Bob. This is John Bozek, and boy, do I need a travel loan.
Well, we'll get right to work on it, John. Where are you going?
To Paris, Bob, to meet my girlfriend.
Ooh, France is very romantic.
She's not in France, Bob. I've already been there.
I thought you said Paris.
I did, Bob, but she must have meant Paris, Kentucky.
Oh, I see.
Or Paris, Michigan.
Well, it's
There's
just...
also a Paris in Arkansas, Idaho, Illinois, Maine, Mississippi, and Missouri.
My goodness, I had no idea
New
there were...
York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas.
John?
And Virginia.
That's a lot of traveling. I better rush that loan.
Oh, thanks, Bob, because as soon as I find her, we're going to get married in Portland.
Maine?
There's one in Oregon, too, Bob.
Uh-oh.
And Connecticut, Indiana, North Dakota,
When you need
Ohio.
financial assistance, General Finance has a plan to fit your needs.
It makes sense to call General Finance for their person-to-person Bob Adams service. General Finance has the professional experience in the particular plan for your particular need. There are 70 General Finance Chicago area offices, so call friendly Bob Adams to borrow up to $10,000. Call Andover 32020. Also an office in McHenry.
Oh, man. That bear. The ace reliever for the Cincinnati Reds, a strong arm, huskily built right-hander. Tying run, Bittner at second base. The winning run, Manny Creo over at first. And De Jesus, the hitter. Their earned run average, 1.42. 6 wins, 21 saves. And this crowd letting out with roar after roar. Come on, Ivan. Oh, but we wouldn't settle for a hit right now. Oh! Just get that tying run in. Here's the pitch. Takes a strike. Fastball. Crowd boos and groans. Ivan retreats away from the batter's box, readjusting that right hip pocket. Now he plunks himself back in with a straightaway stance. Bittner, good lead at second. Bear looks at him. The kick, the pitch. Checks, he swing at a breaking ball. It's a little low. 1-1. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here with you at Wrigley Field. Reds with only 3 hits and a 1-0 lead. Final game of the series. And the homestand. 1-1 delivery. Takes it high. Fastball. 2-1. And again, Ivan steps out. Morgan deep at second base. Way in the hole. Concepcion at short. Right-hander ready. 2-1 delivery. Ivan takes. That's the ball. A breaking pitch that misses. Low and inside, and it's 3-1. A bad one here loads them up. And then that would put the winning run in scoring position. 3-1 delivery. He takes ball 4. Too high. Bases are loaded in the ninth, and Dave Rader the batter. Oh, what a ball game, Lowe. My Lord. Great
World Series game right here.
Dave Rader. We don't need that grand slammer, Dave, that you hit earlier this year. Just a nice line, 2-run single will do. Bittner at third, tying run. Creo at second, the winning run. Bear from the stretch, the pitch. Takes a strike. Breaking ball. Crowd boos on that one. Bench bringing in Tom Griffey several steps in right field. They brought in Foster several steps in left. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And Rader swings. High fly ball. Deep right field. Griffey way back, way back, way back. He can't make the catch. The Cubs win the ball game. Victor scored. Creo up to the plate. He hit it high off the line. Rader up and down in jubilation is swamped at third base. He embraced Joe Malpatano. They were hugging one another. The whole ball club was out there. Pandemonium at Wrigley Field. A tremendous comeback. Now
third base. Holy mackerel, now when did we have one like this?
Oh, never. Great. This reminded me of the 16-15 ball game last year. Only much greater, much more, let's say, fantastic play and a great hit by Rader.
Let's ring the bell. We'll have to get a new bell. Just brought Griffey in a ways. It made no difference. With his speed, he got to the wall, but Rader hit it so high off the vines, he just missed putting it out of the catwalk. And Griffey went back, leaped as high as he could, but it made no difference. With 2 out, those runners were going. That pitch was just above the belt to Dave, and let me tell you, he took a healthy rip at it. Griffey went back. Could not make a leap for the ball. He got there to the vines, came back, and slowly went after the ball because he knew it was all over. Yesterday, it was the Cincinnati Reds who broke the hearts of the Cubs, and it was Ken Griffey, the right fielder, who did it with that 9th inning 2-out homer that tied it. And today, it is Dave Rader who hits one over Griffey's head, high onto the wall in right field with the bases loaded to win the ball game 2-1. And you have to remember this. In that 9th inning, Bill Buckner and Bobby Mercer were both retired. A routine fly ball to the center fielder Geronimo, a ground ball to Dan Greason, who kept getting ground balls hit his way all day long and had no trouble with any of them. And then Larry Bittner kept the ball game alive with a line single to left field. Manny Trio ripped a pitch through the left side of the infield, sending Bittner to second base and sending the 22-year-old Mike Lacoste, the rookie pitcher who had a shutout, sending him to the showers. And Sparky Anderson made the same move, Lou, that Herman Franks would make, or any other manager.
He went with his best, but he lost to Jesus. And that walk, I think, took a little bit off of Bear's delivery because he was taking his stretch with the bases loaded. And let me tell you, Rader powdered that ball against the wind, high. Griffey never gave up on it for one moment. He actually ran into the wall, trying to make the catch. But it was high off the wall, and this could be the turning point for the Cubs this year.
We talked before the game today on our leadoff man, or on our Let's Talk Baseball show. Folks in the network don't hear it. It's aired here in Chicago. And we were very anxious to see how the Cubs would react to yesterday's devastating loss. And we both mentioned, Lou, that this ball club has resiliency. It has the ability to come back. It has done it time after time this year in baseball games where they've had a big deficit facing them, and they've come back to win them.
Yes.
Or they've lost a tough ball game and bounced right back to win the next day.
This has been the type of the Cubs' performance this year, and this has been tremendous. It's not one man. It may be two. If it's not Suter, it could be Buckner. It could have been Mercer. It could have been Kingman on several occasions. Today, it was Rader all the way.
Well, we've seen some memorable ones here by some of the greats of the Cubs, the Santos, Beckerts, the Williams, all down through the years. Willie Smith will never forget opening day with his home run that won a ball game. And we've seen, of course, some tragic defeats like yesterday's ball game. Willie Stargell here in the 9th inning of 1969 with 2 outs in the 9th and hitting one over that right field wall that gave the Pittsburgh Pirates a come-from-behind victory. That, of course, was a crushing defeat, and there are many yet who claim that Stargell's shot in 69 was the one that turned the season around the wrong way for the Cubs. But here today, this is one that I think is indelibly implanted in our memories, and I'm sure in the memories of all of the 39, almost 40,000 fans who are here this afternoon. With Hope all but gone. First two batters retired. The next two getting base hits. And then the number one relief pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, Doug Bear, coming on and unable to get DeJesus out. Walked him to load up the bases. And Dave Rader, who had entered the ballgame as a pinch hitter in the eighth inning, belted one high off the vines in right field, driving in the tying run, Bittner, and the winning run, Manny Trio. And the Cubs have pulled it out. And what a beautiful, beautiful Sunday it is, huh? Forgot to tell you, the final score at Wrigley Field, the Chicago Cubs 2, Cincinnati 1.
Heileman's Old Style, the legendary beer from God's country, is a beer brewed with sparkling, pure Wisconsin spring water in a traditional old world way of pure brewing, double brewing, called Kreuzening. Kreuzening is the most natural way to brew beer and the most expensive. Most expensive because it takes more time. Heileman's Old Style is one American premium beer that's still fully kreuzened, naturally carbonated. Kreuzening is what makes Old Style a great, light beer. Try Old Style and taste the difference Kreuzening makes. Old Style, pure brewed in God's country. G. Heileman Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin.
A day to remember, my friends. It really is a day to remember. I'm not sure that I've got these official totals because while they were giving them right after that beautiful, beautiful side of Raiders shot going off the vines in right field, they were giving the totals, and I didn't hear a word of it. But mine show the Cubs 2 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, 7 men left. The Reds 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error, 7 men left. Donnie Moore gets the victory, 9-5, because Willie Hernandez would get the victory. He was the final pitcher coming in for the Cubs in the 9th inning. So Willie will get the win, his 7th against 2 losses. One of the things I liked about it is that Ray Burris is taken off the hook. He is not going to be charged with a loss. And he certainly deserved a far better fate than being a losing pitcher. I only wish the Cubs could have rallied while Ray was still the pitcher of record and gotten the win because he was just superb. The defeat, while the winning hit comes off Doug Bear, the defeat is pinned on a young man who certainly deserves a better fate, 22-year-old rookie right-hander, Mike Lacoste. And if he continues to pitch as he did here today, this man is going to be around the major leagues for a long, long time, and he's going to have an awful lot of Cincinnati victories. But he suffers the defeat. 2 hours and 22 minutes, 39,242 paid, 39,801 total, and the Cubs now have gone over the 1,300,000 mark in attendance at home. A wonderful way to conclude a homestand. A very tough road trip coming up for the Cubs. We'll be talking about that. And in Chicago, we'll have the scoreboard for you. I'll tell you what a sight it was to see Dave Rader as he rounded second to third towards the Cub dugout, to see him and Joe Malpatano embracing one another and doing a dance off that third base line. The exuberance, the joy was just really something beautiful to behold. And then that outpouring of all of the rest of the Cub players surrounding him. It was almost like one of those typical World Series scenes of the team that has won that 7th and final game of the World Series. That's the kind of spirit that you see on this Chicago ball club today. And I hope we was able to transmit some of that feeling and some of that excitement to you. I only wish you could have been here in person. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau, Jimmy Walters, our engineer, on this day to remember, Jack Vinovich, our producer. The Cubs, with 2 out, nobody on to the 9th inning, win it 2-1. Our broadcast today brought to us by the Association of Chicagoland McDonald Restaurants, your Chicagoland Oldsmobile dealers. Find out how the gallant men of Olds can make car buying a pleasure for you. General Finance's 70 Chicagoland offices. To borrow up to $10,000, call friendly Bob Adams at Andover 3-2020. True Value Hardware Stores, not just a name, it's their way of doing business, True Value. The G. Heilman Brewing Company of La Crosse, Wisconsin, makers of Old Style, the pure brewed beer from God's country. Boy, is one going to taste good now, an Old Style. Scoreboard be coming up in Chicago, and then the Mike Pyle Show. We'll be on talking with Mike and taking some of your phone calls on that one up until the sports writers come on in about an hour. Sure hope you all enjoyed it and that you'll join us tomorrow evening from Houston when Rick Russell, who had shut out the Cincinnati Reds in the first game of the series, is scheduled to pitch for the Cubs against the big, tall right-hander who leads the National League in strikeouts, James Rodney Richard. That'll be from the Houston Astrodome tomorrow night. Thank you very much for being with us. Sure glad you stayed right up until the end because it sure was worth it, wasn't it? This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
And this is WGN Radio Chicago.
Do it yourself with Heinz Lumber and Building Supplies. We can help you do it yourself with Heinz Lumber and Building Supplies. The best lumber and tools are yours to choose, and our people can tell you just what you need.
Heinz is Chicago's largest supplier of lumber and building supplies, and they've been bringing you top-grade materials at prices you can afford for over 85 years. They control lumber quality by owning their own mills, so you know you're getting the best there is. Now, these days when quality products and sound professional advice are getting harder to come by, it's nice to know you can get the right kind of help from the people at Heinz.
We can help you do it yourself with Heinz Lumber and Building Supplies. Heinz Lumber and Building Supplies.
There's a Heinz Lumber True Value Hardware in Evergreen Park at 2601 West 95th Street.
Well, still got my voice. At least some of it. Vince Lloyd back here with you at beautiful, beautiful Wrigley Field, and man, oh man, what a sight it was. There were some fans who had started to head for the exits in that ninth inning, but they were very few in number, I'll tell you. And for the thousands and thousands of loyal ones who stayed right on to the end to watch that beautiful hit by Dave Rader, it's a sight they're never going to forget, I guarantee you. Our scoreboard today is brought to us by Continental Airlines, and there's no lower fare at anywhere they fly than their chicken feed fares, and there are no restrictions. Take a look at some of the action, and I'll have a replay for you on that wild scene when the Cubs won it finally. Yesterday it was the Cincinnati Reds with a great, great comeback for them. And today, that was the Cubs' turn, and they took advantage of it. At Montreal this afternoon, San Diego defeated the Padres 5-4. Andre Dawson got his 21st home run of the season. Tony Perez got his 10th, both from Montreal, in a losing cause. We got the victory for San Diego. He's 4-1, and Deuce, the loser, is 5-5, with Rolly Fingers getting his 29th save of the year before a crowd of just over 20,000 at Olympic Stadium. The Expos now with their 66th loss of the year. And for San Diego, they're back to 6 games over the 500 mark in the Western Division of the National League. The Dodgers and the New York Mets in the bottom of the ninth inning, and L.A. just came up with 3 big runs in the top of the ninth. They were trailing in that baseball game. It is now the Dodgers 5 and the New York Mets 4, bottom of the ninth. Terry Forster has come on in relief for the Dodgers in the ninth inning. Murray had also come on in that ninth for him, and now Forster in there. And the Chicago White Sox this afternoon had their winning streak snapped by the Cleveland Indians, and it wasn't just snapped, it was shattered. The Indians giving the White Sox a run in the top of the first, and that was to be all for them. Indians took the lead with 2 in the bottom of the first inning, picked up 1 more in the second, and broke the game wide open in the fourth when they put 5 runs on the board, and they went on to a 10-1 victory. Steve Stone suffering his 10th loss after 9 wins. He had pitched a superb ball game. His last outing down at Texas, lost it 1-0 on Richie Zisk's home run, the only hit that Steve gave up in the ball game, as I recall. But he was bombed out of there today. Waits
The winning pitcher for Cleveland is 8-13. Pretty good crowd at Cleveland today, 18,233. And I'll have more on the scoreboard, including the highlight, the winning hit of this ball game when I come back right after this.
Fly us to Chicago for only $75. The flights are unscheduled, of course. So 2 months before you...
Fly our special Econo-Night Youth Super Standby Waitlist fare. Good only February 30th and 31st. And in September on weekends.
Yes, friends. We can save you 80%. Just make your reservations in the next 10 seconds and pick up your tickets by mail. Or come in to
almost anywhere for just $50. Now, that provides you detainers, and you never know. You'll keep one part of the reservation, but...
Continental Airlines has put an end to discount fare confusion.
If you can't fly Continental, you might as well not fly.
Continental's new chicken feed fares are unbeatable. They save you up to 40% off regular coach with no restrictions of any kind. But seats are limited, so call your travel agent or Continental Airlines now. Ask for the chicken feed fare. There's no lower fare from here to there.
Save 40% weekdays and 30% weekends with Continental's chicken feed fares. Call for details. Some of the other action while we're waiting to see that final in the Dodger-New York Mets game. Back in the National League, St. Louis defeated the Atlanta Braves 6-4, and a fine crowd down at St. Louis today, 35,531. Phil Niekro, the losing pitcher, 15-13. And Bruno came on and got the win. He worked in relief. He's now 3-0. And tonight, the Philadelphia Phillies entertain the San Francisco Giants at Philly. Pittsburgh in the first game got its 8th win out of its last 9 outings with a 7-6 victory over the Houston Astros. Jim Rooker, who has just signed a new long-term contract, celebrated with his 8th win to even up for the year. And Tom Dixon, the loser for the Astros, Willie Stargell, walloped his 17th home run of the year, and that gives the great veteran 418 career home runs. And young Dale Berra got his first Major League homer. He's still got a ways to go to catch up with his pappy in career homers, though. But they win that one. Second game has Joe Niekro going for Houston against another left-hander for the Pirates, Jerry Royce. That game just getting underway. And that's the only other action in the National League. Some of the fans down here looking up want us to ring the bell again. All right, we'll ring it for you. Yeah. You may hear it again here in a moment when we have a replay of Dave Rader's tremendously exciting game-winning hit. This was a tremendous ball game. The first game of this series, the shutout that Rick Russell pitched, Tom Seaver almost matching him pitch for pitch, gave up the home run, you'll recall, to Dave Kingman. That was the winning blow in the ball game. There was an error that let another run score, but it was Kingman's shot that did it. 2 fine pitchers, Russell and Seaver, and it wound up with the Cubs a winner. Then the Reds won the second game, came back yesterday with a dramatic 9th-inning homer off the bat of Ken Griffey to tie it, and won the ball game in extra innings. And then today, it looked like they were going to make it 3 out of 4 over the Cubs. And I'll come back with a replay of what happened in that dramatic 9th inning right after this.
Talk about getting a new car today, and you'll hear quite a bit about the need for rust-proofing. You'll also hear quite a bit about positive protection from Z-Bart. That's why more and more new car dealers are sending their customers to Z-Bart. They want to give them the best rust protection there is. And these car dealers know that only Z-Bart can deliver positive protection. No one else has the amazing Z-Bart rust-proofing sealant that actually penetrates welded seams. No one else can use the patented Z-Bart spray tools to get into hidden areas where rust can start. And no one else can offer the kind of know-how that comes from the complete training that Z-Bart provides its dealers. Don't let anyone else rust-proof your car. Make sure it goes to your Z-Bart dealer. He's America's largest and most experienced rust protection specialist. And he's the only one who can give you positive protection. Z-Bart. It's us or rust.
Z-Bart is listed in the Yellow Pages under automobile, undercoating, and rust-proofing. This was a great pitching battle between Ray Burris, who on Tuesday will celebrate his 28th birthday. I wish it was going to be with a victory, but at least it is not going to be a defeat to plague it. He pitched superbly, allowed only 2 hits. He gave up a run in the 7th inning after allowing a 2-out single in the 2nd. He hit George Foster, leading off the 7th inning. Foster got to second base on Dan Dreesen's ground out to Buckner, and then they elected to pitch to Johnny Bench, who doubled inside the third base foul line, driving in Foster with the only run of the ball game. Burris finally was lifted for a pinch hitter. He worked 8 innings, allowed only 2 hits, struck out 5, and just that 1 run stemming from the hit batsman. It looked like he was going to be a loser to 22-year-old Mike Lacoste. The Cubs had a hit in the first, 2 hits in the second, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, 1 in the eighth. In the 9th inning, Lacoste retired Buckner and Mercer. Cubs had 1 hope left, Larry Bittner. He kept those hopes alive with a single into left field. Manny Trio, the next batter, singled into left field, pulled it sharply. Sparky Anderson then went to the ace of his bullpen, Doug Bear. Bear, facing DeJesus, lost him on a 3-1 pitch, walked DeJesus to load up the bases. Then he was working from a stretch with Dave Rader, the batter, and this is what happened. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and Rader swings, high, fly ball, deep right field, drifting way back, way back, way back! He can't make the catch! The coach won the ball game! Victor scored! Trio jumped to the plate! He hit it high off the line! Rader! Up and down in jubilation is swamped at third base. He embraced Joe Malfitano. They were hugging one another. The whole ball club was out there. Pandemonium at Wrigley Field. A tremendous comeback. And the crowd for yesterday's and then some. Dave Rader is being mobbed at third base. Yeah, that was it. The Cubs will win her 2-1. Hernandez, who faced the last Cincinnati Red in the 9th inning and struck him out, Geronimo, got the victory. 7-2, and Mike Lacoste suffers a loss, 3-3, before 39,242 paid. It was something. Kansas City defeated the Texas Rangers 2-1, 38,000 at Kansas City's Paul Splitorf getting the victory over Matlack. Baltimore, California, no score after 1. New York, Seattle got just underway. Boston and Oakland, no score after 1. And Minnesota batting in the 7th inning with Toronto leading the Twins 5-1. And earlier today, I've repeated, Cleveland defeated the White Sox 10-1. And Milwaukee leading the Detroit Tigers in the 8th inning 1-0 this afternoon. We still don't have a final from New York on the Dodger game, with the Dodgers coming up with 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning to take a 5-4 lead over the Mets going into the bottom of the 9th. I'm Vince Lloyd. I hope you'll join us tomorrow evening when we talk to you from the Astrodome in Houston. Rick Russell scheduled to pitch for the Cubs tomorrow night against James Rodney Richard. Dave Rader's shot today, giving the Cubs a dramatic 2-1 come-from-behind victory. That's our scoreboard, brought to us now by Continental Airlines. No lower fare to anywhere they fly than their chicken feed fares, and there are no restrictions. This season, the scoreboard is also brought to you by the 26 Chicagoland Z-Bar dealers. This has been a presentation of WGN Sports. Mike Pyle is standing by. And I guess I'll be talking with him and with you, too, in just a few moments on WGN Radio, Chicago.